Hello once again everyone and welcome into the mix. You look at Adelaide Hills and general sport. Jeff Pistola from the Mount Barker Courier with you and joined once again by all-round good guy Mark Stokes. Stoker, how are you, mate?
Not bad, Jeff. Yourself? Another busy week in football.
Well, since we last talked,
Yeah.
there's lots happening in this landscape of sport, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But once again, we must thank the assistance of the Call of the Wild and also HFL Media for making it possible here as we gather in Mix Central. Yeah, fantastic. So we approach the winter solstice. Winter solstice this weekend coming up. So halfway points. So theoretically the things should be getting warmer. The days make you feel a bit warmer.
But, I reckon it's getting colder.
Well, as we get older, it gets colder, I reckon. But hey, let's just have a look before we get into local sports. Some things have been happening because the big thing that started last week, the World Cup. You've been taking that in?
Yeah, little bits and pieces. So yeah, obviously I'll be watching the USA game.
Yes, coming up. Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be a big one there. So a bit of a surprise there with Australia beating Turkey. So
Turkey, yeah. When did that come about? Turkey.
I'm not sure. I think they got offended. I think so. They said that's their name, so they got to call it by the right name.
Oh, I suppose Australia made them look a little bit like Turkey. So pre-match, so they're going to do this, going to do that, and then I reckon 4 million people, SBS, tuned in last Sunday to watch it. So
one of the highest ranked. Heard on the SEN during the week that it was one of the highest ranked sports of all time. And surprisingly, rugby league. That's not too far behind. I think State of Origin last night. That was a high following audience as well.
And of course, our boy from Adelaide, Aaron Kunda, the young man, what a great story that's been, coming from Africa, growing up, got here when he was, 3 months or something?
Yep.
Growing up, Jeps Cross, etc.
Yep.
Adelaide United, I think he played there when he was 16. And now with his latest performance, I think even West Ham are looking at him seriously.
Yeah,
amazing. So it just shows you what you can do in the world
stage. You just take your moment at the right time and look what happens.
Yeah, fantastic. You talked about State of Origin.
Yep.
Well, because last night, 91,000 at the G. That's almost like Collingwood, whoever.
In a prelim or something like that, or a final, or just a normal Collingwood home game.
And
anyway.
And I'm sure they weren't all people from Sydney and Brisbane, because Victorians love their sport. And,
it just probably shows. Probably another thing I might allude to a bit later on in another segment, like grand final. Eyes on it. Does that AFL look at that and go, well, do you have a night grand final?
Ah, the old chestnut. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. But obviously the Blues probably came in a little bit of favourites, but first time, I believe, Queensland have won at the MCG since 1995. Not saying they play there every year rotated around. But of course the Blues, after that monumental win in the first one, we're looking good, but now questions are being asked. Was the bench used badly, etc., etc.? So now Queensland go home to Suncorp, or the old Lang Park, for the decider, and you imagine that in the cauldron, as they call it, like the Queensland's will be going wild.
Yeah, you think the advantage might swing towards.
No, they'll just get down to Caxton Street, down the pub, and get a few fired up before they go in. Well, but anyway. Now, a couple of other things I came across during the week. I've been cornhole. You're familiar with the game of cornhole?
America's the beanbags.
That is right, the beanbags with these sloped target.
Sloped target,
I was watching the other night on the ESPN the Queen and King of Cornhole, which we'll read what you want into that. Championships were going. Fascinating.
I have seen it. I know it's a big thing in America.
It is. As you said, the simple beanbags thrown to a raised target with the hole in the middle. Obviously, if it slides in, you can also do snooker-type cannon shots. You knock the other bag in, your own bag, so you get double points.
I remember playing that at school. I used to the old beanbag things, stuff like that in primary school back in the day. I just mainly throw them at other kids. And also the Stanley Cup hockey was on. Ice hockey must be the biggest trophy in the world, the size of it. Yeah, how do you lift it?
Exactly. But it was a fantastic game. It was the Carolina Hurricanes playing the Vegas Golden Knights. Stoker. It ended up going to 6 games. And Hurricanes got up, and now they got up, and so they won the series 4-2. So that's back-to-back titles for him. But talking about big crowds, I reckon the final, last final on Sunday drew 5.9 million viewers.
Yeah, wow. That's big.
So talk about World Cup.
You got anything on the NBA?
No.
The Knicks, 53-year drought.
I was going to mention about the Knicks,
Yeah, so 53-year drought. What about the pricing of seats? Front row was like 150K or something like that for a seat.
What, at the decider or for the
series?
For the whole series?
Yeah, in New York. That's what it's.
But they were willing to pay it. I mean, look at most of the people who go along, the McEnroes, the Seinfelds,
but even
Larry Davids, these blokes can afford that.
Even the nosebleed sections, they're around about the 15,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Far out.
Wow. Interesting. But
well,
the Knicks come from Now, something you'd appreciate because they're we claim him one as our own, Nicky Chowdhury.
Yes.
Made his T20 debut for Australia
last night, overnight.
Yeah, got a maiden wicket, made a few valuable runs. So
13 off of 18 deliveries, I think. That's right. 14 off 18. So
yeah.
And you saw firsthand out at the summit there.
Well, I was going to say because he took on the best for the A and the H at one stage.
Yes, we did play Nicky a few years ago. The Adelaide Hills Bucks. It was probably the first 100th century game played in South Australia. So
there you go. All comes across the leadership of the A and the H.
Yeah, under lights at the summit at the People's Ground. So
yes. Now speaking of People's Ground, you're excited. The prospect, the mayor said perhaps could they be once again in the mix for a Gabba round game?
Well, I don't mind the Gabba
now that we've got it for the next 3 years,
that's great. If they can get it, that's good. But if you're willing to throw that amount of money, the council to help fund that game, why can't you put it into the arena now or the premises now and get community playing there? Isn't the legacy for the community that?
Well, you'd think so, but same sort of similar case up at Lindop Park. Now, I believe it's just used for Barossa District's games and a lot of community stuff. Although it will be used for the state country championships coming up in July, footy championships up there.
Do you know how that operation works up there with Barossa Districts? Do you have any inside
knowledge? No, I don't.
It'd be interesting to find out.
I'll
put that down for homework for next show.
Get for next show. See how it works, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going back to the cricket, and also another Joel Davies made his debut for Australia. Got 3 wickets. So scored some runs there. It's nice to see Australia actually get a win. Over there.
Bangladesh. So,
and they got the best looking one-day uniform going around.
Actually,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, right. So there you go. Yeah. No, that's all about promoting the kids like the uniforms, especially the coloured clothing format. So good luck to Nicky as well. So that's a great story.
It is a good story.
Just shows. Yeah. Take your moment.
Actually,
anything can happen.
Probably lucky because he came over to play Century League, as you said, in Brisbane, and he was caught out with the COVID.
Yeah.
He couldn't get home, so he's played for Australia. Only the second Indian-born cricketer to play for Australia.
Yeah, who was the last?
Rex Sellers.
Was that back
1964, played one test against India in India. So played for South Australia, Rex Sellers.
Yep.
So there. Hey, big news, because I know you love your tennis, being a hot shot. Serena Williams back in business. But in this, returning to Wimbledon, she played a warm-up tournament, and now she's got a wild card.
Yeah, is that for just singles or doubles?
Just the doubles. She's going to play her partner has pulled out with injury, so they've set her up with another partner. But there's been a little bit of controversy, maybe, that Serena, I don't know if you've seen the new look Serena from when she ruled, she's actually lost 31 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
Right? But they're saying back in the heyday, her power, etc. But apparently they reckon she might be GLP-1, which is a weight loss drug program. And so there's been a lot of people come out on social media say, hang on, she's there for the tennis or pushing the barra of this, because her husband's also allegedly involved in the company. So and a lot of people back in the era, like some of them were more full of framed ladies, were saying, well, shows you don't have to have the perfect build to be a champion sports star. So Serena turned her back on that and sort of sold them out, because now she's
promoting this.
It looks like G.I. Jane, you know what I mean? So
interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Well done to her. But to be a sports champ, you don't have the correct body. But and of course, our man Nick Kyrgios.
Yep,
he's got a wild card too to play doubles. But I saw Nick playing in some warm-up tournament there, and he won the first round. But then things went bad for him. He got stuck into the umpire in the ring, and
he can lose it pretty quickly, can't he?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But anyway, Hey, and of course, a bit later on, in a separate situation, we're going to actually have a talk to the Onkaparinga Valley Football Club
President. Yes.
Yeah, just stoking it up. You're looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, a bit of history. I actually did play for Onkers when I moved across.
Is that right?
Yeah, back in the juniors days. So I have a little bit of a...
Right, in this sort of light.
No.
Well, actually, another great, nearly as great as you in Mount Barker, Simon Noonan, of course, he played for Onkers.
Yeah, he did. Yes, so Adam Klein played for Mount Barker.
That's right.
So it's a bit of interchange there. So, but Onkers, when we first moved back into South Australia, we lived at Oakbank and went to school there, Oakbank High, and then started playing footy and cricket there for 1 or 2 seasons, and then we moved to Mount Barker.
What, they found you no good and just sort of
eased you out? They let me go, no. But Mum said I needed to make some friends at Mount Barker. So I went to school there, and that's it.
Fantastic. So you got a little bit of bulldog in you?
A little bit of a bulldog in me. And I used to live in Footscray in
Victoria,
so a little bit of Western bulldog in me there as well.
So actually you could probably say had the 2 sides. Your number 1 side now would be the Dogs in the way the season's been going.
But I wish Mount Barker.
And just before we go, we had the man on. You had the man on, stoking it up with you a couple of weeks ago. Was not coaching the side last week.
Yeah, I did hear a rumour there. Not
missing
sure
interstate.
Was it for work reasons?
Well, I don't know.
Or personal?
Could be personal.
I'm not sure. Well, obviously it might have been pre-arranged if it's work. I suppose this day and age with community sport, a lot of people's priorities are work, FIFO work, shift work. So
we can't read anything into that?
I can't read anything into that. Who took his spot as coach?
Pat Sim.
Yeah,
was the inaugural women's premiership coach at Mount Barker and also played for your Raiders. So
I suppose if he was away and Mount Barker did pretty well, you might be a little bit concerned.
Yes, interim coach. Yes,
interim coach.
Right.
But the results wasn't too flash for Mount Barker. But we'll get into that.
We will.
All right.
I'll write that down here. Just follow up on coaching. All right, we're up and running in the mix. We'll be back with more shortly. Have a look at Hills Football League in general. You're back in the mix, doing all things sport and time to have a look at local footy.
Yep. Obviously, our last show, we had the HFL games there. So just a bit of a recap there with you, Jeff. You're obviously up there. I watched on the live stream there, so great coverage. And I'd like to say well done to the Call of the Wild for promoting the HFL. I think that's been an outstanding success. Tomo, with his efforts in trying to resurrect it or
good little doco. Benny Goldfinch took upon himself. So I think that's interesting insight, and hopefully it rubs off to the guys that were there for all the right reasons, and perhaps guys looking at that doco or else word of mouth, they can see it's a real good thing to play. Like I up at Manham, I ran into Rob Clovier and one of the great men.
He presented the medal.
Yeah, and just he was relating the fact of what great times were, medals, premierships, etc. But interleague footy to him is high on the agenda of his memories of playing footy, and just hopefully, I don't know, as we spoke about it previous shows, as you said about just whether the climate these days doesn't allow the passion that used to be there, but hopefully we can get back and through things like Tomo did and Benny, etc. And
I think it's a good stepping stone there. So I think only can progress and be better for next season. So just a quick question: will it be played at the Summit next season?
That's a very good question.
Because you'll be hosting it.
Write that one down again.
Turn to
well, they would be hosting it. You think they play at the Premier Ground? Well, they did play there a couple of years ago, if you remember.
Yes, they did.
So, very good question.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Or is it? I haven't used up all your good questions before the mix, the bowl.
The bowl. No, I was just asking. Obviously, do you go to the clubs to say, well, who wants to host it? I think Onkers hosted it last year, so they put their hand up to host it. Is that how it works?
I'm not sure. Obviously, because it's not obviously it's because it's not like the home and away series, so the Hills can designate where they want to play. I suppose it's a matter of clubs making themselves available. But as we talked about in the previous segment, having one of the best venues up there, maybe the council can get involved, promote, if they don't get Gab around, promote interleague footy.
Yeah, well, mate.
But you'd think it would be at the Summit.
You'd think so, but we'll watch this space.
We'll wait and see.
But anyway, in the A grade there, so River Murray, they just run out in the last quarter there, 17-12, 1-14 to HFL 13-10, 88. So it was neck and neck right up to the three-quarter time. 10 minutes into the last quarter there, it was still neck and neck, and then just,
Well, Hills actually kicked the first 2 goals that last quarter. I think they were 17 points up, 9 minutes in, as you said. And then, as we said, there's a big ground up there at Manham, and quite a warm day, actually. It was a beautiful day up there. And just the leg power, I think, in the end, and they used the ball pretty well, and just a few bad turnovers by the Hills, and a couple of blokes from River Murray got on a roll. Hanson, the forward pocket.
6
Walker.
goals.
Just opportunists, and in the end, virtually you say Hills unfortunately just ran out of the legs.
Yep.
Good game of footy though.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was very entertaining there. Just for the HFL, so Fairman from Blackwood, best on ground.
Jackson Fairman. Well done to him.
Well done to him. Tate Coleman played. So I suppose there was a few late withdrawals. Wimpress was one. So well done to Tomo. I thought he did really well.
He did.
Get it up and firing, and
it certainly brings that passion to the cause, definitely. And good on him. And as you said, Lockie Schultz was very good. Kai Dean, a few of the country division boys, Stoker, who stepped up, and they didn't look out of the level at all. So it just shows you.
Kai Dean, he played pretty well. He's probably looking favourite, I thought.
And some of those young guys, Erbsland, it'd be better for the experience, and a few of the other guys,
Dakin,
Tucker, etc., Dakin. So, so well done, as I said, to all those who put their hand up.
Yep, no worries. Just in the under 18s there, so massive win. 20 goals, 16 to 1 goal 2. So
kept them to 1 point after quarter time.
Like
3-2 to 1-1 at quarter time. I thought, this is going to be a good contest. But then once again, Hills just ran away with it. And you'd be pretty pleased because Mount Barker didn't have any reps in the senior side because most of the A grade footballers were playing in under 18s. They've had blooded so many this year. So they played very well, those kids. And so well done to the Hills. And Darryl Selby does a great job. And coaching them. I think it's the 4th year he's coached them, and he's had a pretty good success rate. So well done to them. They're just a bit more polished than the River Murray. Plus, I suppose the Hills, more clubs have bigger pool to pick from. But if I was River Murray, I'd be perhaps a little bit disappointed with that.
We'll get into the next question after this. Just review. So in the 16, so another sort of fairly big margin, 13-9 to 3 goals 1. So after quarter time, level pecking, and then just HFL put the foot down and ran away with it. So and well done to Jack Purdy from your Ada Districts who coached the side. So Jet Hamilton, Mount Barker boy, 4 goals. So well done to him. For an association game, is that a massive blowout? You just touched on it before.
Well, absolutely.
Is it a concern for River Murray?
Well, like you said, the area they stretch from River Murray, for Murray Bridge, obviously right up to Pinaroo. And when you look in the country, maybe there's not that many kids for various reasons. But is it another flip side for our competition? Does it show that clubs look after the juniors here? Well, perhaps, but it is notable the fact that the Jake Watson under-16 Shield last year was actually won here at Balhanna by River Murray. So maybe it's just this age group for this particular year, you know what I mean? How it comes in spits and troughs and highs and whatever. So, but under 18 level perhaps was a bit of a worry with that, margin that's there. Big margin. Just a blowout. Because they were competitive at the 16 level, you know, but certainly in under 18 level, Hills were just far too good for more skilled and etc. Man, the biggest oval in the state, surely that 50-metre line, then you've got the squares, another 20 metres there. Like, I think you've seen about 10 Bridgewater ovals, isn't it? No. It's one of the biggest, and Hills used to obviously pretty aware of that in the juniors and use their run and carry game well. So it's got to be at the Summit next year then. Well, you'd think so, biggest oval. Yeah. Well, get into Division 1. Call it wild game. You're at Loberthal, the Valley of Praise. Yeah. It turned into the Devil's Playground. Like that. Depleted side, so Mount Lofty, 11-13, 79 to Loberthal, 3 goals, 5-23. still Lofty, good win, important win for them, but probably the coaching staff might be a little bit, well, took a bit of gloss on. Once again, they kicked more behinds than goals, but in the end they got the chocolates pretty clearly. Loby, they just, well, injuries haven't been kind to them. They went in with something like maybe a dozen first pick players missing. Copped another 3 or 4 real serious ones during the game. So things not going well for the Tigers at the moment.
On the injury front there, you said Hugo Munn suffered a...
Hugo Munn.
Is that a long-termer?
Possibly. Fuller when he came off shoulder injury. Yep. Hopefully that's all right.
Ryan King late in the game.
Ryan King late in the game.
Yep.
Plus, the entire Skinner family are missing, the 3 of them.
So
a couple of the King boys, because Charlie Dixon out.
Yep, so here's their outs.
Collins, the captain, hamstrings. They got the package who we had on last. He must be training them too hard.
So Jacob Collins, Peter Bampton, Charlie Dixon, James Elliott, Tanner and Dylan King, Cooper Riley and Torsten Skinner, Oscar Munn, Ben Pring, and Romus Mastis.
Yes. And Will Nara, who's a FIFO, he was unavailable. So, as I said, you put them all on the one side and they'll still be there, but they don't, as we discussed on Saturday, like, really make a good charge to it. You've got to be in the top 3 and they'll be hoping to get some of these troops back. This break between this period of games between the Interleague game and also the Country Championships early, it's 3 or 4 games, so they wouldn't want their field to get too far away from them. No. They might have a little bit of a break this week playing Mount Barker, but not saying they're over the line. But when they get a few troops back, as you rattled off some of those names, they'll be very good. Lewis Johnston's another one.
Yes.
They'll be hoping, as the package said, perhaps get North to play a lot of Sunday games from here. North Adelaide where he's involved. So.
That's it. Mount Lofty, Bolden, 23 disposals. Gilman, 23.
Yep.
Chima.
Big Chima and Amuno. Yeah, very good. Putting up foot. Yep. And Grundy, having Big Chima back's allowed them to put Grundy in defence. He's going very well.
Yep.
Coulson, who's been
so he's not like his big brother. Wants to play in the ruck?
Well, he probably does. I don't know.
Yeah, he's more okay to play.
Well, he has to be, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's boards as well. No, no. He complements the two of them. So, as I say, Tucker and McTaggart with their pace on the wings was very good.
Are they the best wingmen in the Hills?
Well, arguably.
Yep.
Arguably. They might have we'll sit down and pick our team of the year. But they were very good. And I said, Coulson, their experienced recruit, they picked up. He's played for Sturt and Port, Essendon Districts comp last year, so he's very handy and doing a good job for him. So Lofty and Carmody was very good, and the Junkyard Dog in Bauer. So the Devils, that was a game they needed to win. They won their first 3. They've only won 1 of the last 4.
Yep.
And this win on Saturday was very important for them, given that only other win was against Mount Barker. So being last year's grand finalist away was a good tonic for Mount Lofty.
Just for the Tigers, Cooper Luke, 32 touches, Braidwood, 26. Connor Bristow, apparently he's a pretty good bowler. He'll be up in the A-grade ranks next year for the Loberthal Cricket Tigers.
Okay.
He got 22 touches. And Carter, obviously, with 3 goals.
Yeah, Carter was very good. I can see why he's leading the goal kicking opportunist. So, look, the Tigers, patched up Tigers.
No worries. All right, we'll get into Harndorf v Blackwood. So at Pine Avenue, Harndorf, 6 goals, 12-48. Defeated Blackwood, 3 goals, 2-36. Hobbs with 2, Lyons with 2, Clamp 1 each. So just their prime recruits there. Clamp's been around for a few years now. So key scorers there. Probably a little bit accurate there, 12 points. But Blackwood, what are your thoughts on them?
Interesting, Blackwood not scoring in the second half.
3 goals, 2 at half time.
They conceded the 4-goal start, as you said, to the Magpies and fought back. So, what was that, 88 or so points, 5 points at half time. But then, the 6-12, well, we know the conditions were pretty heavy, and maybe Harndorf, in the end, it sort of made Blackwood look a little bit better than they were. But certainly Hobbs is in good form, as you Clamp, getting better each week after his knee reco. So once again, they're sort of starting to, obviously it's taken them half a season to gel under new coach Damien Stevens and
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving along pretty well.
Shell in defence, he played well.
Yes.
Best on, and Sam Williams would have.
And Sam Williams in those conditions, he would have loved it.
He would have loved it there. So,
Yep.
yeah. So, no worries there. So, Uradler, they took on Mount Barker at the Cabbage Patch. So, 19 goals, 20, 134. Mount Barker, 3 goals, 1. So, didn't score a goal till after half time. We'll score all 3.
But they did win the third quarter.
Yeah.
Turned it on.
They turned it on. So, Patrick Sim must have gave a bit of a spray, or maybe on the coach on the phone.
So I got him on the phone.
Loudspeaker. Yeah. So asked for a lift. So Harry Allen, 5 goals.
The X Factor, Amato, Redden, the 2 Redden boys played. Probably won a few times this year. It was good.
Redden back into the side, as we sort of touched on a few weeks ago. So it'd be a big inclusion.
Yep.
Pump Richards, did he play in this one? Didn't kick a goal. Didn't see him on the goal kickers there. So.
No, I'm not sure.
And obviously, Kluvenak, he didn't score a goal. So the recent times.
He did get a red card, didn't he, the week before? So he was on the suspension. No, I don't know. And stand corrected if that's wrong information. But Cooper Spries has said very good. Timpano, Amato, back to the usual stuff. But Coach Matty Down would be pretty happy with that. But what did they kick? 9 goal, 5 in that second term. As we said, if they had the kicking boots on straight, it would have been more for the Roos, which, once again, another tale of woe. But getting games into the young fellas, and you just wondered at their approaches to games, how, the positive situations.
But just on your radar there, Adam Tredoran, 42 disposals. Yeah. Surely he's going to be a male medal favourite.
Is he the best centreman in the competition?
Well, he'd have to be up there. So
he'd make your team.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's probably the favourite.
Who do you pick on the wings?
Oh, well, obviously, they're one of them.
There you go, answer that question.
Timpano, 26 disposal, as you mentioned, Spry with 23. Just for Mount Barker there, Samuel Kendall, 28, and Jaden Noonan, obviously 21 disposals there.
And the old man, Daniel Bennett.
Yes, old man, Daniel Bennett's best player.
He must look around the room, so he's done in the kinder here.
He must. A couple of debuts as well. So, what's his name from Jed Durden? He's been a bit of a journeyman. He's played around a few clubs. Yeah. Evan Fitzgerald debuted for Socceroos as well. Next game, so Onka Valley's continuous on their run. So 11 goals, 20 to 7 goals, 8. The Rams, are they done?
Well, they're starting to run out of chances. I think top 3 is going to be too great for them, and even the top 5, because, they want to win more games than the first round. Obviously, only win the one, which was the last game of the round. So they've got to start picking up some wins, or else, the thin ice will break through.
I might have to make.
But once again, they're competitive, but they just, I don't know. When you look at the personal way, they've still got the same sort of nucleus they've had the last couple of seasons.
Drew's been pretty quiet.
That's. Drewy was, kicking near 50 goals, but and Archie Connolly's another one of those had injuries this year.
Yeah.
Big Brock Knott, whether the new rule is against him now, not being a leaper, the body buttons. That's just, just haven't got the same aura about him as they had. Zach Llewellyn been back in the side the last few weeks. He's added a bit to him. And Jack Remington, actually, majority of their better players in recent weeks have been in defence, which is not a really good sign, really. It means the ball's up their end all the time. But anyway, but on the other side of the court, Onka Valley I think their last loss was Anzac Day night or afternoon. So just going very nicely, the doggies.
So the Nam Bremen, the Prince of Salem, 200th.
Well done. Well done. Well, that's right. Well done to the Prince. Deserving. There's a couple of premierships now, and always been a zone rep too. Always put his hands up. So he's actually runner this time, and Manham. So good servant of the club. It's good to see him get that milestone.
Yep. Onkaparinga, they're on fire, aren't they? Jeffries, he's elite, and Sam Green, so he could be another argument there for the best centreman as well. So we'll get into the latter.
And of course, national exposure for the Dogs this week.
Yes, Farmer wants a wife. I've asked Colo that question. How's the exposure been?
Maybe they should wear those pink shorts that they sort of had on that game they played on during the week, and Farmer wants a wife.
Yeah, well, I wonder how the the family met the new lady. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe
ask
a
the question.
Collar.
Yeah,
ask the questions on.
That's it. Go to the ladder. So Onka Valley out on top 7 with 1 loss. Hahndorf next with 12 points, 6 and 2. And Mount Lofty, as you said, a crucial win over there, 5 and 3. That edges Loberthal into 4th, 5 and 3 percentage, just splitting them. Uradler hang on to 5th with 4 and 4 record, and Blackwood, they're probably just hanging on there as well at 4 and 4, just an outside chance of making the 5. Any thoughts on that ladder?
No, I think you've summed it up pretty well. The next couple of weeks, as I said, this little break in between the country championships will certainly sort out a few of the sides. I really think Nan Bremer would have to pick up at least 1, possibly 2 in that little segment. Blackwood would need to repeat a couple of the wins, including one this week, which we'll get to, that they had the first time around. But the top 5 side, and given that, it's starting to look a little bit settled. As far as the composition is still to be made up, but those top 5 sides probably will be the ones that play finals.
We'll get into the match of the round of the preview. Onka Valley take on Hahndorf. Quite a wild live stream.
Looking forward to this.
Courier Cup, thanks to the Courier for sponsoring that as well. Good rate guaranteed, so do yourself a favour.
You've got all the cliches.
I got the cliches.
But first time since 1995 that Onka Valley have got the chance of actually winning the cup, because they won back-to-back.
Yes, back-to-back.
94, 95.
There'd be a question for Colo. Does he remember those victories? So he would have been a part of it.
He was part of it, yes, the young fella. Look, plenty of excitement. It's a real boost to the competition, seeing I thought they won the 3 games, I think it was last year. Certainly at this side, as you said, they're charging along well. Been very lucky last year. They had a shocking run of injuries, which seems to move up the road to Lobe this year. If they can stay firm and with full-toed odds to select from, they're certainly looking pretty good at this stage, Dogs. And they're not just beating sides, they're absolutely whipping them. Yeah,
well, obviously they got a curtailed clamp. So, but you look at their defence, they're in the points against, they're 312 best defence in the league. And then Hahndorf, obviously, are scoring 485 against. So I think that's where we won there is Onka's defence, I think. So curtailed clamp, keep him quiet.
Well, they got the best intercept marking team in the comp in the Farmer, Coipa, and also Zach George Dent. Very reliable, and a few other guys that got back playing there, and they're very hard to penetrate, that's for sure. So McGarry's been a good acquisition for him. Frank Sampson, who's come down from Waikerie. So they're looking at a pretty good nick. They're strong on all lines. Obviously, Clunny, we know he's a very astute coach. He's gone away, realised what they needed to build on from last year, and Big Jonesy in ruck. He's loves stirring people up, and everybody gives them first use of the ball, and just that body strength, and also Spain and the Fridge and Skinner. As I said, all lines are going pretty well.
So your tip is Onka Valley after that preview?
Well, look, Hahndorf had to win Courier Cup, so they've won 10 of the last 11, be it this year under a new regime, and I think that's taken time, as I said before, to gel into that. But Damon Stevens, obviously a pretty astute coach. But Dogs at home, I think they beat Hahndorf pretty convincingly in the previous meeting. I know this is a different kettle of fish, but being at home, the faith will be right behind them. And, it's been a long time, as you said, 31 years, 32 years since I picked up the A-grade flag, so this could be the chance for me to get the double. So, Onkers, but won't be easy.
Won't be easy. Hahndorf, I just want to ask you a question there. Landers, the ruckman, is he due back soon?
Well, a little bit. He did tell me that they might be down on Big Man Street for this game. Both ruckman, Huxtable might be missing, and Landers possibly. So don't take that for gospel. That was just the George Avenue dribble. That could be, if that's the case, big men strength could cost them.
All right, next game, Mount Lofty take on Nan Bremer at Goat Park.
Well,
this is another crucial match, obviously, for Nan and probably for Mount Lofty. You
think Goat Park, Heathfield doesn't hold any scary things for Nan. They won the Courier Cup game against Lofty and also won the grand final there. So happy hunting ground from the last 2 visits. Bigger game for Nan, you'd suggest, as we said. The sands of time are starting to drift out, so depends what Rams roll up for today. Lofty were very good, and you expect on the home deck with the balcony just rocking behind them. Yeah,
after
they might have too
half
many
time
guns.
we get the Devils chant going.
Yeah,
The fog will set in. So
I just think the Devils might on the home deck. They beat them out at obviously out at Man earlier in the season, so they'd be keen to complete the double over the Rams this season.
What's the ground conditions like up there?
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Just like the summer. Why talk about gather around in the summer? You can go to the Goat Park.
Wasn't there a politician who said, why isn't gather around it?
Well, there was indeed. There was. Well, that's right. That's right. No, given the weather we had, we know it's probably the wettest part from Urada, probably in the wettest, situated in the wettest part of the hills, but they've done a good job over recent years, and it's not as bad as it used to be when we used to run around, me particularly.
Yeah, no worries. Blackwood take on Urada, so another crucial game for Blackwood.
This, as we said before, Stoker, the fact that they beat them over at Urada early in the round, or round 2 would have been. So they'll be looking to repeat that. And Blackwood, they've made a lot of inroads this season. You just hope they don't get stuck in a situation where they just drop off the pace, as you said with that before about the composition of the final.
Yep.
So they're just out on percentage, and they actually play Urada who above them on percentage. So this is a 4-point game here.
Yeah.
Urada, well, you can never write them off, and coming in good form. I know it was only Mount Barker, but they obviously rendered pretty good form. The only restriction on how much they won by was going to be their own input, and they actually did that pretty well. Although 19-20, you'd be a bit worried. Might have been a good year, but it's bad kicking, isn't it?
No, that's
it. So this is a real test for Blackwood, as you said. They've got to make a good start, which I think they did last time they played them. Yeah. But just anchoring Urada might just get the chockies over there.
Yeah, I think Urada, if Allen kicking 5, if Richards, Clevenack come in, so they're going to have too much firepower. They've got the male medal favourite in the middle, delivering it down there on a silver spoon. So, yeah, I think
we got him. And Norden and male medal.
Favourite, that's it. Urada.
What's the date? It's
the date today is 18th.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I'd say Urada be too strong. Probably just going back to the tip for the Mount Lofty Nan game. I think, Mount Lofty at home should get there. The last game of the round, Mount Barker take on the depleted Tigers, who will be their playing coach this week. Due respect to the package, I think if he's got to pull on them, they might be looking for a coach for the rest of the year because he'll be in hospital getting the recall. Yeah, that's it.
Look, opportunity here for Mount Barker, perhaps not joking about, but perhaps have their lowest losing margin of the season because Loberthal few out, or a lot out, and they'll have some sore bodies from those that are still playing. Good chance for the young Roos on home deck, so whether they can bottle the game up.
Yeah, it should be pretty wet.
Still man for man, you'd think the core group of Loberthal, they've still got, as you said, Carter before playing well, Bristow, Dominish, Jimmy Braid will give him first use in ruck.
Yep.
So they still have too many big guns, I think, for the Roos to sort of hold them.
Sam Scott, we're playing.
Sam Scott, his old side. I was impressed with his go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's been injury depleted, I think. Started and got an injury early on, so he's just come back into the side. So he's quite a handy player. So his old man Richard, who was quite a good footballer back in the day too. So,
well, put on your Roos hat.
Hopefully the coach is there this week, I suppose. So
it is interesting. I'll put it to you, it's a Barkaroo boy. Must be disappointing to look at the ladder. Haven't won a game in A's and B's.
Yeah, it's been a
at
long
senior
time
level, and they've always been a backbone of the C grade competition. No C grade this year.
Yeah.
But you look at the junior side of things and travelling very nicely, the Roos.
Yeah, juniors are always going to be strong just due to the town size and the schools into the ground, and parents are going to probably pick up a lot of kids from school, so they're going to have probably first dibs.
And I know they're doing the right thing by how many debutants they had this year, more than they've probably had in 10 years at the club, which is good for the future. But unfortunately, the smaller bodies against,
Yeah, especially these heavier conditions,
Yes.
more getting knocked off the ball and stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously going to go tip Loberthal, but hopefully, can get locked up and they don't get beaten by as much and take something away from it. I suppose that's all they can do at this stage.
Positives out of it.
Yeah, take some positives out of it. So, we'll see. All right, Division 2, Kersbrook and Kangaroo. So Kangaroo, the longest trip in
yes,
HFL distance-wise to travel to play a game. So at Kersbrook Oval, 13-8 to 10-9. Level pegging there, three-quarter time, and then just Kangaroo just ran away with it. So 5-goal last quarter.
Coach Kane Powers will be happy. The Brookers started off the season a blaze of glory, weren't they? And in the last 2 weeks...
Well, 96-point loss the week before. And then,
the last round they played, then had the long bye.
Yep.
And as you said...
2 weeks off, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they had the extended bye, and so got rid of a few injuries, but not all of them. And Kangaroo, I thought this would be a very good game. And Kangaroo, we saw in the week before in the call a while when they beat Macclesfield, and they're a very good unit. As I said, they've just recruited well. They had Jericho John back in the side on Saturday, which helped them. But also Scott, he's a quality performer. Michael Ross can play. Bruno Hillier in defence, and just a complete package, bit like Weeksy at the moment. So that was a very good win, particularly Brookers beat them the first time down at Yaruna, so Kersbrook have returned the favour, and with that they've actually jumped above the Brookers on the premiership table. So a good win.
Yeah, very good win there. So Vines was named best for the Brookers, so the Catfish going pretty well. Kai Dean in the best players there again. Oh no, he wasn't, but he's been having a good season. Your man, the silky one, Harvey Friel.
Yep.
He's going along very well as well. The other game, Meadows took on Gumaraka at Stringy Bark Farm. So Meadows 13-15 to 6-6. So Gumaraka, they acquitted themselves there. It was pretty goal behind there at half time.
Yep.
So again, they're a young group as well. So I suppose that's positive that'll come out of that game for the Gumaraka.
Yeah, they would have been buoyed by the fact they had their first win before the Interleague, obviously beating Torrens Valley.
Yep.
But as you said, for Coach Lee Penrose and the young group, a lot of guys new to A-grade football. So as you said, Meadows, Georgie Dawes got them up running pretty well. Just the bigger bodies too, Big Sean Steele, Mitch Richards, 7 between them.
Yep.
And the Falcon, Bazina, going well, and Daquis Baden Willis, the former man boy, and Noah Bell, the former Onka boy. So they've recruited pretty well for guys that they needed. So learning curve once again for Gumaraka, and they just need to sustain it as younger sides do. It's probably with Mount Barker to play 4 quarters of footy at this level. But Meadows going along pretty well and actually sitting in 4th at the moment. So.
Meadows, they've got a few players come back in. Coombe, Henderson, another former Mount Barker player, Thomas Griggs.
Yeah,
so
and also they had a couple of few injuries, and Lukey Smart, who's an absolute gun and multiple best and first, he was injured at key in the midfield, so they got him also to come.
Another game around was Birdwood via Chunga at Birdwood Oval. So Chunga 12-8 to 9-6. So set up there in the first quarter, 5-1 first quarter. Then probably Birdwood outscored them after that.
Well, I'll tell you what, this sort of, shows you what I know about the game. I thought Birdwood at home, Chunga have a shocking run of injuries. We're looking at actually 5 losses in a row through that injury tally they've had. And, as you said, they come out in those conditions out there at the Velodrome. Might have been a little bit boggy down the bottom end there, I suggest. And as you said, 4-goal break, and that's virtually the margin at the end of the game. And well done to Scott Bailey and the team out there.
Yeah, that's it. So Chunga, is it a resurrection for them, the timing of the draw, or they still got injury concerns?
Still anything.
Druids Avenue.
Well, they got the bye this week, so it's come timely for them.
They've had probably a month period here.
Well, Brett Turner obviously didn't play last week as well, and a few of their injuries, and they've got blokes playing sore, but I know all clubs probably do it this time of the year, but some get affected more by that than others.
Look, freshen up period.
Birdwood beat them at Devil Park earlier in the year, so this was a very good vengeful win for them. So just keeps them alive because they had slipped off the brink.
Yes.
So
the other game at around Macclesfield took on Bridgewater at Mackie Oval, 7-17, 59 to 8-250. Obviously fast start by Mackie in the first quarter, 3-goal lead at quarter time, then level pegging at half, and then just inaccurate kicking there.
I was going to say, your man Johnny Fitzgerald's usually on the spot when he bowls, doesn't he?
He is.
Well, I tell you what, his forwards weren't on the spot with their
treatment. About the goal kicking coach out
there.
So,
I tell you what, that's
that'd be.
Look, mate,
it's on the tip of my tongue. Painter.
Oh, Craig Lallard.
Craig Lallard, the goal kicking coach.
Painting the picture.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, Bridgie, I thought this was going to be a game which would show how far they've come and what they're capable of, and in the end, only a 9-point, as you said, bad kicking is bad footy, as the great Wally May used to say, but full credit to Bridgie, on the other hand, pretty accurate, 8-goal 2.
Yeah.
So it shows you they're not far off the pace, which is a credit to them in this resurrection year.
That scoreline, do you reckon Bridgewater have improved, you're saying?
Yeah, well, from the first game when they played them.
60 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the second half they got blown away.
Yeah.
But I'd say 6-12, 6-1 at three-quarter time.
Yeah.
You can argue the point that perhaps Mackie's bad kicking kept him up, but Bridgewater maintained the pressure. I tell you, to my money, he's one of the recruits of the year. Is Alex Forster.
Yep, 6 goals again.
Leading the goal kicking. He's just consistently. Nick Dinham only got the one.
Yep.
And Joffa Jeffries, good to see him back in form. And as I said, Johnny Gianni. As I said previously, Bridgewater haven't actually played their full complement of the one game. So when that happens, it'll be interesting with people available and injuries and stuff. But but once again, the Bloods in good nick and jumping back on top of the ladder.
Yep, no worries. I'll just go to the ladder there. So I'll just go through my notes here. Jeffrey, just bear with me. So country division ladder. So Macclesfield on top there, 14 points, 63%. Kangarilla equal top there, 61%. Kersbrook in third position, so lost there. See them drop down to third, so 12 points. Meadows, 12 points, and Bridgewater at 10th. So and then you got Birdwood in 6th, and then Chunga in 7th there on 8 wins. So it's just a game out. So pretty tight comp.
It is. So as we've talked about before, obviously Gamaraka and Torrens Valley won't play finals unless something miraculous happens.
No.
So you got 7 sides fighting out there. You could probably say that, the top 3 might change, but the 4 sides fighting out 2 spots maybe.
Yeah, that's it. So I'll go to the draw. Just find the draw. There it is. Torrens Valley this week take on Macclesfield. I'd say Macclesfield will
Torrens Valley might be refreshed. Maybe a truckload of recruits has come in, but you could think that the competition leader playing the bottom place side. I think it's a bit predictable.
I suppose Johnny would probably hope they have their kicking boots.
The
accuracy
on
this week.
The conditions too out Mount Torrens Oval.
Should be pretty heavy there.
It could reduce the margin, but you think the Bloods would just be. They may well rest a few players, but they've still got the depth with their reserves going well to account for Torrens Valley, who showing a lot of positives. Bit of social media stuff out there, positive, and keeping their community club going. So,
good.
Little wins for them.
Yeah. Bridgewater take on Birdwood at the Summit.
No. This game's down the Cox Creek Plateau, down in front of the Fraser family bar down there. So, Bird would be a few years since I've ventured down to Cox Creek there. So, big game this one as we look at them 5th playing 6th, separated by 1 win in favour of Bridgewater. So, they'll be very keen to actually increase that gap, and in fact if results go their way they could actually jump up a couple more notches on the ladder. So I think Bridgie at home, they just bottle up that game very well. So,
I'll go for Bridgewater.
And unfortunately Birdwood do have a few injuries, unfortunately for them. So
Meadows take on Kersbrook.
This is a ripper of a game. Because as you said, the premiership table both on 12 points. So winner it is could possibly go into third. Well, we'll go into third spot overall.
Yeah.
So Meadows are going very well. Kersbrook, they just, as I said, they've lost that little bit of sting that they had earlier in the season. I know they've had injuries, etc.
Should have them fired up.
Road trip
2 in a row.
Having said that, Georgie Dore, Meadows at the moment have got a really good string of home games.
How the ground hold up.
But once again, both sides will be short of premium selection through injuries. Well, Kersbrook were impressive earlier in the year. Maybe they should recapture that form. Meadows could be an upset here.
Going for Meadows.
Oh, it's tough.
I'm going to go. I can't see Kersbrook losing.
No, I think they've won the last 2 times they've been down there.
Yep.
I'll give them one more chance, and Kane Powers probably will too, because he would have tipped them. Well, they were competition leaders for a while. Now they're struggling to stay in the top 3. So Kane will have them really revved up for the importance of this game. So I will go for the Bookers.
Yeah, I'll go for the
1
Bookers.
to 10 maybe.
1 to 10. Yeah. Last game there, Kangarilla back to Uruna, take on Gumarakis. I think the way the Kangarilla side's going at the moment, they should be too good for
as we said.
Gumaraka.
Might have camped a week, Stoker, because they were at Meadows last week. Now they just go over there with the Kangarilla.
Yeah.
So another one of those long trips you're talking about. As we said, Kangarilla on the home deck, they'll be certainly looking for percentage.
Yep. Because
only just percentage beyond. So it'll be 2 top sides will be really battling for percentage this week against the 2 bottom sides. So, one of the mill result there, I think.
Yep, no dramas. All right, that wraps up footy.
Okay, we'll be back with more on the mix and talk about your favourite sport.
Netball. No worries. See you then.
You're back in the mix with Pistols and Stoker, and time of the week that I know you look forward to. We're talking about netball.
Yep, get into mid-heels netball there, the last week's results. So some big results there.
Yeah, big.
My side, Onkaparinga, 49, defeated the reigning premier, 41. So
your side. Haven't mentioned for the last couple of weeks.
That's it. But that's the win they needed there. Claire Meldrum named best player for Onkaparinga there, the goal defence, and Charlotte Creaser for the Nan District side. So
similar to the we were just talking before about footy. Similar to them are the reigning premiers on the ropes. They're going for 4.
Well, yes. It's strange.
They got the same side, or you probably haven't heard of them?
Yeah,
traps.
They have the same side there. Right. So, so not quite
Has
sure.
Has the hunger gone?
What's that, sorry?
Has the hunger gone?
Well, not sure. I think they'll be around the mark when the season
Will the Queen of Salem have to get them all in a little circle?
Yeah, maybe. But,
Courtney Yench.
Courtney Yench. But, So, 12 goals, 9 at quarter time. And then at half time there was a 36-28, the 3/4 time lead there to the Onkers. And, great win by Onkers. So they'll take a lot of confidence out there. Shooters going pretty well. Sasha Noski, she's a great recruit there. And, they played really well. So I'm going to see them firsthand this week in their next match against Mount Barker United. So hopefully they can take that forward.
Report.
That's it. Mount Barker Lutheran took on Little Hampton, 31-15 in favour of Little Hampton. Abby Matson was best there for Lutheran and Michelle Hook for Little Hampton. So a couple of 20-goal victory there. So, Lutheran are a little bit off the pace this season, so they lost a few players. So they've got a young side they're developing. So they'll be better for the run. Little Hampton, obviously hanging around that mark, that draw a few weeks ago, so against Onkers, so that's probably might come down crucial there at the latter stages of the season. But any word from George Avenue? Any more players come into Little Hampton from Hills Cop?
Possibly if the need arises. They've had a couple of cameos, as you know, this season already. So
that's it.
What's the spot?
That's it. So the other game there, Lobethal 61, defeated Chunga 39. So Millie Mudge, best player there for Lobethal. She's on fire. Probably one of the best goal shooters in the competition. Christina Haas for the Chunga.
Can I just ask you, is there promotion relegations, or if the side applies and wants to come up? The fact that Chunga obviously coming up this season.
I don't think there's a relegation. Woodside have been down for a couple of years now, but there's no relegation. I think you just have team nominations at the start of the year. There is regrading, but it's not.
Yes.
not for the A grade, and all the other grades.
So you just mentioned about the Flames, a little bit off the pace. The Chunga, similar situation, just adjusting to the higher level.
Yeah, higher level. But I would say they'll be up to those clubs at the end of the year if they want to stay in that competition or they go back down into A2.
Win a flag like they did last year.
Yeah. I would say
full credit for them playing at the higher level, which the younger player gives them what they aspire to, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So, Loberthal, they're going along nicely there. So that's a big score, 61 goals. So, in the other round, league leader, Harndorf, 47, defeated Mount Barker United 38. So Madeline Titterman, she was best on court for United, and Kate Hulich, Hockey, she was best player for the Magpies. So she's a great player. She's a great defender. So she's been around for a number of years now. So
is that a little bit of a unexpected? The Magpies sitting on top, undefeated, mind you.
Yeah, undefeated. So
did you think that would be?
Well, yeah.
Obviously, Nan districts are in the mix.
Yeah, I would have thought Harndorf would have been around the mark, top 4, but not to be on top of the ladder, especially with Lauren Nitschke playing this season as well. So you had her with Kate.
Yeah,
that's a pretty hard defence to crack through there.
And obviously, they've had a few youngsters step up.
Yeah, definitely. Harndorf for a young side. The shooters there, they go really well. So credit to Harndorf's program, so that they've got a couple in the A2s that aren't playing in the A grade as well. So Katie Thompson, she's a good player. So full credit to Harndorf. They were up there for a while with their older players.
Changing the guard.
Yeah, changing the guard. So they've planned that out with Tori Kaisler. She sort of phased out. And
Kelly Lynch, they're still playing.
The Fife, the golfer. First name, I forget her first name. Plays a bit of golf these days now. So
Lisa
Fife, that's what I was looking for. So she's a very good player as well back in the day. So full credit to Harndorf what they've done there. Just go to the ladder, as you said. Harndorf out on top, undefeated, 12 points. Loberthal in second, 8. Nan Districts just hanging on in there, the third. And then on percentage is Littlehampton, Onkaparinga in fifth. United in 6 with 4 points, and Mount Barker Lutheran 2, and Chunga yet to get onto the board. So, so as you said there, Harndorf, they're going very well. If you look at their shots for 288, their defence is 216. So, Kate's probably a big factor in that. Loberthal, obviously the highest shooting side there, 300. So, Millie Mudge got to curtail her to get a victory. Nan Districts, 266, 254. So I think they'll be around the mark. They'll bounce back. Littlehampton, so depends who's there week to week, and Onkers, So we'll see how they go as the season progresses. Get into round 7 there. So Chunga take on Harndorf. So top v bottom there. So you would say Harndorf should continue on their merry way. This is a crunch game there, especially probably for Onkaparinga's fortune. So Littlehampton take on Loberthal. So probably Onkers girls will be hoping Loberthal can knock Littlehampton off.
Tigers just going along nice.
Steady,
aren't they?
Yeah, they've been a bit of surprise as well. So no frills, and just getting the job done. Nan Districts, they should rebound against Lutheran there, so the 3:30 game, so they hopefully might get some confidence back in there. United take on Paringa, so could be a danger game. So Davis girls obviously go past Onkaparinga coaches and players respectively.
You'll be scoring.
I'll be scoring on my phone, and
just make sure you don't add any extra for your girls and gold.
No, I don't. I'm probably marking it pretty hard, but so it should be a good game there for Onkers there. So United they're around the mark, so young side, so probably looking to turn their honourable losses into a win. Get into the Heels comp. So this is your playground there. So Ironbank Cherry Gardens 47. Defeated the Comets 40, so cherry ripe form is the headline. So
yes, like it.
that was pretty clever. 7 goals win. So any thoughts on that one?
Well, I think it said in the write-up, Ironback Cherry Gardens didn't win a game last year. They had a young side because of the defection of some of the better players to other pastures, mid-hills. Lightning strikes, as I say.
Yeah, lightning strikes.
So girls have had to step up. And this year, I suppose, the benefit of that experience, and certainly the Comets, that's their first year back in A grade in the hills for a couple of seasons. But going along very nicely, the Cherry Wright girls, and they're sitting second at the moment, so well done to them.
Yep, Ella Paddock was best player for Ironbank, and Evie Mildren for Stirling Comets. Undefeated side, Heathfield going on their merry way, 52. Your Adelaide, 52. Defeated Harndorf, 32. Gregory Best for your Adelaide, and Claudia Lawson for the Heathfield. So 20-point margin there.
Yeah, the usual nice conditions out at Adelaide. Although it did hold off a bit for the A grade earlier in the afternoon. But second meeting of last year's grand finalists, and once again the Demons just showing what once again the side to beat. And Heathfield got in some young girls coming through. Mandy Braddock playing coach there to guide them. But what was it again? 20 goal. I think it was.
52.
The Demons just too strong.
Too strong. And the rivalry game, Summertown 29 defeated Piccadilly 44.
Tigers and the Panthers doing battle, and Summertown Tigers. They're going along nicely too, and should play finals. And the Panthers, they're competitive, and they'll be looking to win a couple of games and actually cementing their spot in the finals as well.
So just on the ladder there. So your Radler out on top, undefeated. Ironbank Cherry Gardens in second position on 8 points, with Summertown equal points in third. Heathfield in fourth place with 4 points, and Stirling Comets 2 points apiece, with Piccadilly rounding up.
Unfortunately, a bit perhaps predictable Stoker, if I could use that word. The fact they only got 16 comp this year, and obviously you got your Raider and the standouts, and you got the other sort of pecking order for runners up, and This is what it is. Super League, Courier League, anyway, don't get me started on that.
No worries. I'll go get your tips for this next round. So round 8, so Summertown take on Ironbank Cherry Gardens.
Well, this is a real opportunity here. We've got second and third playing off. Ironbank holding second. They've got to travel over to Tregarthen Park, and given the weather conditions, it's always, I think someone had a bit of a humorous spot where they named the place Summertown, because it's particularly
it's nice in the summer, I suppose.
Particularly on winter solstice day, so it might be a bit brighter, but could be a big chance here for the Tigers. Actually, I like the way they play. I'm going to go for Summertown.
All right. No, it's undefeated. You'd rather take on Piccadilly, so another top v bottom clash.
Yeah, another derby game, but Cabbage Girls will be too strong.
Yep. Stirling Comets take on Heathfield, so this one might be closer than you think.
Well, it is closer if they play for Heathfield, because you've got to walk about 50 metres, because they play at Heathfield High School, the Comets home court. So this is a must-win game for the Stars, Heathfield Stars. Like last year when they came home and finished, into the grand final, and this year they haven't set the world on fire. As I said, developing side under Mandy Braddock, but I think they should beat the Comets. I don't think the travel will wear them out.
We'll wear them out, that's it, for sure. No worries, so that wraps up the netball component.
All right, we might be back to answer some of the hard questions in the next segment here on The Mix.
No worries.
All right, welcome back into The Mix, and now, it's time for that segment everyone looks forward to, Stoker. So it's in Mix Matters, so we'll see what's in the bowl this week.
Oh, here we go.
All right, you can lead off. Yeah.
Besides the Academy Awards ceremony, is the Soccer World Cup the greatest showcase of acting ability?
Well, as we talked about at the top of the show, been watching what a great spectacle it is, but already some of the performances by the players these are highly tuned. There are millions, some of them, and just some of the antics they get up to on the field, like classic, was it USA and Paraguay?
Yeah.
Like the bloke went for tripping or a slide tackle, and the bloke went down quicker than a cold beer on a hot day.
Yeah, wow.
And because the bloke got sent off, and on the review system it showed that the tackle had actually even missed him completely, yeah, okay. And so they reversed the card and give it to the other bloke for staging. This sort of stuff.
Is there staging against frees, like AFL trying to clamp down on
the people staging? Yeah, it is. It's as I said, you now got a card for it, for acting or staging, and even blokes getting sent off. And if you remember that famous, I think it was the quarter final, wasn't it? Australia and Italy back in the day, where free kick or penalty was paid to Italy, and the Australian bloke was nowhere near. But of course, FIFA, obviously there's big money in it, and certain sides have to get through, and not some other nations. But anyway, and also when the goals are scored, they really get excited. Like, you hate to score a goal because you just get trampled to death by your teammates. They come off the bench and everything, it's fantastic.
Well, I suppose the scoring is quite low, and there's very excitement there.
Yeah, I know. I just can't wear. And you talked about the state of origin. Yep. The state of origin, there is Aussie rules, some of the big hits and blokes, but some of these soccer blokes, surely, they look like you should take the spade out and bury them, like they're in agony. And
they've done a ligament or
and there was one the other day, a decision went against the bloke, and he's driving around, and you could see the referee, and next minute he's bobbed up and he's run off. Yeah. So just milking it for what it's worth. So it just spoils a bit. There's a fantastic concept, and I tell you one thing that's great, and they're not acting as the Scots, just love that. Just the way when they go to the baseball afterwards, as you said. Yeah. Right, now, this is sort of topical also, Stoker. Was the AFL wrong to program 2 matches in opposition to last Sunday afternoon's World Cup soccer match featuring the Socceroos, when we said over 4 million people were home watching it?
Well, yes and no. I suppose, when was the fixture done? I suppose that's what you got to consider.
World Cup was done last.
Is it before the AFL fixture?
Oh, yes. Done last November. Yeah, okay. November 27th, I believe.
But I suppose...
Well, but the time slot, they put it in the afternoon or revise it. They seem to change dates when times when they want to.
Yeah, they can bring games forward or back or whatever they want. So they technically.
They have it start at 4 o'clock.
Yep, that's fair call.
Because they had 17,000 at the.
St Kilda game. Yeah. So definitely they could have rescheduled it there. Had a bit.
Does AFL think they're bigger than the
World game?
FIFA?
Yeah, well,
the World game, the beautiful game.
Well,
is that when they're staging?
Yeah, no, I don't think the AFL think that, but I suppose they're just probably looking after their own product. But if you are generally interested, there's only 17,000 at the Saints game, so obviously there were 17,000 St Kilda fans. So
and the Giants wouldn't it?
Yeah, Giants would.
Orange team.
So if you were saying that game was at Sydney, how many would have been drawn to that game?
The Giants at home.
Yeah, Giants at home against
7,000,
if that. So, look, I get where you're coming from, but I think the AFL got to continue on with their program. If they had their time again, I bet you, they probably would have rescheduled it. Obviously the win was probably unexpected.
But I said back in November, they would have been aware of this. Yeah. And they have the option, they release the draw in blocks. Yeah. So they would have known when Australia's pool win, when they're playing.
Yeah.
You can change these things if you wanted.
Yeah, they could have. Anyway.
Now,
I'll ask you one there, Jeff. Is Australia's cricketing prowess under threat due to the fielding third-string selections during the current Bangladesh series?
Well, it's interesting. I think we've touched on this with the IPL series, taking the cream de la cream, or those who want to make a bit more cash out of it.
Yep.
Particularly in the way, and this isn't in the end, because well done to Nicky getting selected for the T20, which is a bit different. But the side we sent over there for the one-day internationals, just some of these blokes I haven't even heard of.
Yeah. I look like I said, does it get to Division 1, Division 2? So it's opportunity for these guys to have a taste, but does it tarnish the cricket, as you're saying? By not playing your best players, they're only playing series that they think are important. So, I It's under threat, yeah, for sure. So
do they have a world rating? I know they have for the Test Championship. Do they have
Yep.
a world rating encompassing all the games, all the formats?
I don't think so. I think it's just for the Test.
Because Australia would take a bit of a pounding here, like the first time I've been beaten by Bangladesh.
Well,
in the series.
if that came into place, maybe then Australia will go, well, we'll have to send our best players over there.
Or maybe it should.
So
maybe the whole of the cricket world should get together and say,
maybe, but I suppose there's no World Cup for the Test. You know what I mean?
No, they have the chance.
That's where they have the.
Imagine that.
Yeah. You know,
5 days of Test matches,
you could.
8 rounds. Like
it'll take you 8 months to play it. You know,
said,
so,
might run into the AFL season.
That's it. But something for the Australians, or definitely international cricket to look at. For
Now,
sure.
while we're on the theme of cricket, is the presentation of below par pitches becoming a damning feature of world cricket, and should there be harsher penalties, as we saw that test in New Zealand and Lords, terrible, and we saw last year's Boxing Day test, where perhaps on subcontinent things happen, it's just nothing happens.
If it's
does it reflect on the game?
Well, what is you just mentioned there, subcontinent? You know, they get criticised for their wickets, but nothing happens. But then when it happens in Australia and the home of cricket, Lords, it's the worst thing.
What do you say?
Well, I'm just saying, why?
Don't mix your words.
No, well, wasn't those subcontinent sides get I know they control the game, but I think it's like back in the old days in the 80s and stuff like that. There was always the gabba, you know, like that was green and that was seaming all around. No one, you know. It was just the you knew you went to the Gabba, it was a seamer. Perth, there was the bounce and carry.
Yes.
Melbourne before the drop-ins was sort of up and down on the low side. Sydney just turned at right angles.
Adelaide was always spin friendly, wasn't it?
Spin friendly towards the end, and a bit of a batsman's, you know, win the toss and bat first at Adelaide. So, does that add spice to the game? Like, I watched the England game. It wasn't.
But as a purist, you can't sit there and watch that and you think, this is terrible.
It's not great having 3-day test matches. You want them to go to the last innings, obviously.
And where Test cricket is actually probably struggling for survival and popularity, because everyone likes the bang bang over the fence. Look at that.
Yeah, they do. But if it's a regular occurrence, you've got to probably say, well, what's going on there? Ask the curator. Be interesting when we have the next test in Melbourne. I bet you that'll be a nice deck there. Left 10 mil of grass on it.
Blackiston's finest down there.
Yeah, we'll get a Hoffy down there, and that could be a good question to ask Hoffy. This one,
we might get him on.
We might have to get him on as a guest.
All right.
Next one for you, Jeff. Last one. Is there a scope for major upheaval in SANFL competition, which could include a strike by players? This is very drastic news, isn't it? Because when you think about it, because we all love our Sandful. Yes.
Nord rolling pin there. And,
Nord.
Just managed to beat Boy Guys the other week. Players from multiple Sandful clubs have considered collective action against the State League as negotiations over a collective bargaining agreement have stalled. Players Association, Sandful players, met on the eve of the season to discuss the potential of a strike in response to a 50% decline in pay over the past 20 years.
Yeah, wow.
When you think about the inflation and the cost of living, and it's seen their hourly salary rate drop to a third of the national minimum wage, which they've just had an increase the other week, I think. It's just unbelievable. It states about the time and effort that they put in. 234 players last year were surveyed.
Yep.
The average Sandful player, Stoker, earns about $5,000 before tax, despite committing to about 16 hours per week to training and playing for 39 weeks of the year. So that equates to $8 an hour, well below the national minimum wage of $24.95 as prescribed by the Fair Work Commission. And because now they're in that collective bargaining situation, which was signed a couple of years ago, they come under that agreement. So, so it's going to go up to $26.44 next month in July. So Yeah.
So next month they'll be
next month.
Pay
Well,
pay increase the right wage.
Well,
what if guys
the actual minimum wage goes up. Goes up to that 26. So they're actually having a meeting on July the 5th to say, well, with the SANFL to say, well, look, this is how it is.
Mm.
We're playing for $8 an hour, which probably a bloke in a sweatshop in Indonesia gets paid more.
Yeah.
So, is there scope for it?
Is this just an AFL issue?
No, it's a SANFL issue.
But it's an AFL issue as well. Like, giving money back down to those grassroots leagues.
Oh, I see where you're coming.
Because obviously,
I get you.
Because there's a feeder.
I'm not sure on that.
So AFL did 61 million profit last year.
Yeah.
So why can't they go, well, okay,
we know
you're our feeder comps, Waffle, VFL.
That's right.
SANFL.
And then from that flows into community football as well.
Yeah.
Well, you're a much travelled man. What's the feel of community football support from the AFL in country Victoria? Not a lot.
Not all over that one, but I've seen it firsthand, obviously. So obviously the players get looked after pretty well over there. So different competitions, different salary caps. So
you can't blame people. SANFL wanting to go.
Well, Conor McFadden
Leaving. Classic example. You go, mum.
Yep.
Going and playing for $8 an hour when they can go wherever and get whatever. So this is a bit of a problem. And
so is it a club problem then first before AFL? So is it up to the clubs financially to say?
No, this is up to the SANFL.
So
SANFL must pay the clubs. I'd suggest some reasons. Well, obviously the case is going to be against the SANFL.
Yeah,
so I don't know exactly how it works, but you think for $8 an hour, and that includes training, because we all know blokes, because the mid-season draft, they want to put in and, so they can step up to the system, so they devote a lot of time, the training that they do now.
They do, yeah.
Like Sturt, like even 4 times a week and whatever, and weights and, physical practice on the training track. For $8 an hour. Right.
Yeah, that's not right. So
you give up playing for Westies or someone and go work at Drake Supermarket collecting the trolleys.
Well, that's it. Right? Yeah.
You get more. Yeah. So this will be interesting to see how this turns out. So whether the AFL do get involved in it, as you said, as the governing body of football in Australia.
So you're saying SANFL distribute money to the clubs for their salary cap?
I guess I'm not sure.
Or has the club itself. So if you're Josh Hone,
as
an example,
well, maybe we'll get him on.
So who pays him? Surely it'd be Sturt.
Yeah, but then Sturt gets something through whether they haven't had an increase in their pay over the past 20 years.
So dividend from AFL to SANFL, and then the dividend would get spread out to
clubs. I think that's how
that would help with their salary caps.
I think that's how it might work. I think,
So it'd be an interesting question to
so the financial compensation, because a lot of, they give up a lot of time, as I just said, to play, but the returns aren't.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'd probably put in the same amount of work as
so no wonder these guys love getting mid-season draft.
Yeah.
Because you go from getting $8 an hour to get on the list at whatever rookie list on the AFL club.
That's it. You've gone up to $100,000, straight away. So that's what I mean. Like I said to you last week about the mid-season draft. Well, that's why I think it's important.
Well, apparently the Players Association, SANFL players, have had talks or whatever with the SANFL, but the SANFL's dialogue coming back hasn't been that proactive. So, so July the 5th, I believe, there's going to be a meeting.
Not far away.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens then. They go on strike, so we don't have any games, or...
Yeah. Maybe you have to put that down homework to follow up on the next show.
I will. Maybe get community football. If they go on strike, there's no game, so maybe they can put all their resources in the community.
So I'm going to ask you another question, another spin-off.
Yep.
Get a pay increase through SANFL. Do player payments increase out here in community level?
That's a very good question about notice. To follow the trend, I don't know. It's all about the game being ruined by money, isn't it?
It is.
Think about it. So money is the source of all evil, and obviously you need money to. It's a flow-on section. So then, does the increase in costs of getting into the game, or buying a pie, or whatever,
buying a drink, and
exactly.
Buying a beer. So it's a lot of spin-offs there. So we'll see.
Very good. All right, as usual, very informative and very points up for discussion there from the mixing bowl.
Yeah.
All right, well that wraps up another episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. So we look forward to joining you once again here at Mix Central
in a couple of weeks' time.
Until then, Jeff Pistola,
Mark Stokes.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Welcome back to the Mix. Our special guest, Shane Collins, president of the Onkaparinga Football Club. Thanks for joining us today, Shane. How you going?
No worries. Good to be here, mate. Thanks for inviting me along.
Just go through your credentials there with the Yonka Valley Footy Club. So 97 A-grade games, 94 premiership player, 1989 junior colt male medalist.
A-grade. It was a while ago.
Yeah, A-grade coach 2002, 2003 and 2007 and 08. And now president, starting at 23 in your fourth year. So just tell me about your footy career. Obviously cut short, knee injuries as a junior. There,
it was a bit unfortunate. But just played all my footy at Onkers as a kid, loved the game. Obviously went to Oakbank School and just hung out with the boys and went through all the football and the cricket things. And then was lucky enough sort of through my teen years to spend a bit of time in the city and played a bit at Nord and whatnot. And then, when I was 18, I sort of mid-90s or early 90s, Onkers were pretty strong and I loved my home club. And I just had a couple of personal things at home. Unfortunately, my father passed away and I just wanted to come home for a bit. So, mid-94, I come back to Onkers and played and obviously premiership year and things changed. So, went from playing and then got injured and then started coaching. I love coaching. Started with the under-17s. I think my first year I coached the under-17s, I was only 21 years of age.
Yeah, wow.
And went on from there. And I think I solidly coached for about the next 22, 23 years before having a little break. And went a few different pathways with the coaching.
Yeah.
But,
so you went down North Adelaide. So did that start off with the juniors before you did the league with Jars?
No, I was coaching Onkers A-grade actually. A bit of a story of that. So Glenn Elliott, who coached Onkers A-grade, and I played under Glenn, he was the CEO at the North Adelaide Footy Club. And in 2003, Onkers, I was the head coach, and we got through and played in the grand final. And we lost to Mount Barker actually that day. And, that was quite devastating for me. I was still quite young coaching the A-grade, but Glenn asked me to call him the week later, and I rang him and he said, look, I know you're young, you love your club, but there's an opportunity for you here at North Adelaide Footy Club. We'd love to chat with you. And it went from there. And then all of a sudden I was sitting in front of Andrew Jarman and the football ops manager, and they're sort of saying, like, we want you to come down and join the junior program. And I was like, I'll give up an A-grade job for that. And I talked to a few people that have sort of that have helped me along the way, and it was really about opportunity because I was still young and I loved my coaching. So I thought I'll give it a crack. And so I went actually down there as the North Adelaide Under-19s assistant coach, which I was like, it was a bit funny that I did that. But Jar said to me, he goes, no, I want you at all league training for pre-season so you can get education and learn about what we do and all that. So I never missed a training and loved it, soaked it up like a sponge. And I think under-19 started training and he said, look, I need you to stay here for another 2 weeks because I've got an assistant away. So I said, no problems. The end of the 2 weeks, he came up to me and he said, Collo, you're not going back. He said, you're staying with me. So I was like, how cool. So I went straight into the reserves and then I did reserves assistant coach for a year, and then I was the league backline coach for the next 4 years. So loved it. Absolutely loved it. So it was really good. And then I had a break for a while, and then I went back down to North Adelaide with Daniel Healy when he was coaching. So spent some great time down there, great memories, good times, and certainly helped me with my coaching. Probably come to a position of it wasn't for me to continue with that. I wanted to sort of change my working life a little bit, and it took a lot of time out of your days with coaching in the SNFL. So I sort of went more to sporting body for working. So I got a full-time job in motorsport, which I wanted and passionate about. So then I had to come back and just do country football. So that's how it all went.
Awesome story. That's unbelievable. Biggest influence in your coaching journey there? So obviously Glenn Elliott got you the start, the input there. Jars, was he influence?
Look, obviously the first day you walk in and Andrew Jarman's sitting there and saying, mate, we want you to come down here. It's like, wow. He was amazing. He taught me so much about how to bond a group together. Remembering when he took over at North Adelaide, I remember the first night of training we walked in. It was my first night. I didn't know anyone. I was the only one of the coaching staff that didn't know Jars prior.
Yeah, okay.
So he brought a lot of his Gazer team from with there and his brother and different things. So I walked in, didn't know anyone. And I walked around the rooms. There's just holes in the walls everywhere. It was the place. And then we got told during training that, Hardy used to walk around and just punch holes in walls.
Yeah.
And we went out and trained, and I'll never forget, we went out and did some sessions, and the skills were horrible. The ball's on the ground, and the guys are all yelling at each other and all that. And Jas goes, "What is going on?" He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget, he pulled everyone in, and he said, "Right, I can see what's going on here. You need some love."
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this about? And he said, let's go, get changed. We're going down the pub. We'll have a schnitzel and we're going to have a beer together and let's start again. And from that day, it was like he just put his arms around people. And not that you can do that all the time, but it was the transition of the club that night. And from there, we built right through to playing in a grand final. And I learnt so much about how to manage and treat people. And understand that everyone's different. And we had a really good program around that. And then when Daniel Healy come along, that flexed into a bit different. Where Daniel come from an AFL side, which we did the leading teams program.
Yep.
And
how was that?
I loved it.
Yep.
I loved it. The program's very good. It is quite hard on people.
Yeah, very confronting.
Very confronting. Yeah. But the logic behind it makes sense, and you've just got to sell the reasoning behind it, and that was a big key thing. But we had players like Jimmy Allen who'd won 2 McGarry medals, but and Jimmy, who was a ripping guy, player. But Jimmy was about getting 45 possessions a game and doing his thing, and team lost by 3 goals, he'd be best player and get his 3 votes. He'd be happy. But Hills and the program turned him around to the boys, saying to someone like him, no, we want you to get 25 touches. We want you to kick 3 goals, getting hard ball and winning ball 4 to centre. And we want you to share the ball with other players in different areas to make sure that actually other players come into the game. And it was very, very hard and critical on how he adapted. And it was amazing how much a player like Jimmy Allen changed. And, he won another McGarry medal after that. Reece Archard won one under that program. I loved it. You can't do it without having the time. Like I've seen a couple of country clubs try and do the leading teams program. You need time. We allocated nearly an hour a week to it, and you needed to. But I really enjoyed the program and what it brings. So,
any local coaches were influenced? Jimmy LaHoo?
Yeah, when I was younger, yes, absolutely. I mean, I revert back to one of my first junior coaches, who still to this day I loved and learnt so much from, and that's Lyle Skinner. I remember when he was my under-14s coach. I obviously went to school with his son Clark. We were close mates, so I spent a lot of time with him. But Lyle was just really directive about football and coaching and just lessons on how to play the game. And I took a lot from that as a kid, and I think that's helped me in my first coaching stint. I took at Onkers actually in 2002. I got Lyle back to help me, and he was a wonderful assistant.
Good mentor.
Yeah, he was a great mentor. And then I've had different people in different times, but I mean, from my younger years, I learned a lot. I learnt a lot off of everyone. I was like a sponge when I was younger.
Bits and pieces from everyone.
Absolutely. And I still remember in the early 2000s, I was coaching our A grade. If Onkers were playing Mount Barker, I'd go and listen to their under-17s coach. What's he saying? How's he doing? Oh, wow, he's got the group really focused on him. How's he done that? So I'd learn a lot of other people. I never, and I think that was a really good thing, is that you can. I know I still learn today. Like I'm coaching Onkers under-16s now, and I'm still learning off people around the place. And I think you can never stop learning in that space. But I really enjoy coaching it. But just the time, it just takes a lot of time, and a lot of people see the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but that's just the output. It's the input stuff that people don't see. It's the Sunday, Monday. It's the Sunday evaluation stuff, chasing up injuries. Monday health check, mental health checks. How are we going? What's doing? I've worked out I didn't probably give this guy as much time on the weekend, so I'll give it to him Monday night. Wednesday's normally a couple of catch-ups with coffees and chat, and then, so much time goes into it, and then you've got to get your head around the game on Saturday.
That'll be one of the questions I'll ask you in the challenges going forward.
So, for sure.
Obviously here this week, the Courier Cup Final. So, bit of a omen, I suppose, for you guys. Last one, 94, you played in that Courier Cup, then went on to win the flag.
Yes.
Can history repeat, I suppose? So this year, I know it's still early. We've talked off air. Bit early yet, but
absolutely.
Thoughts on this week, and then probably can you tell us anything about that year, 94, 95?
Oh, look, it was wonderful. Obviously, it was quite exciting back in the 90s, and 94. I come back halfway through the year.
Yep.
And I was the youngest player in the team and in the grand final, which was wonderful. But it's like a kid in a candy store, mate. Like, to be honest, I had all intention of going back to Nord in 95, but with the success of Onkers and being around my friends and mates and family and community, I just loved it. And it was, for me, it was like, I'm staying. I stayed in 95. Thought, how good's this? We'll win a heap of flags.
Yep.
This is great. Just living in the moment as a young kid, I probably didn't just, I wish I was a little bit more mature, because I think I probably would have absorbed it a lot better and appreciated it a lot more. Where now I really hang on to it. And in 94 we weren't favourites and we got it done. 95 we were favourites and got beat. That's the crux of it all, which still was hard to take. And I think, and that was it. It was done. Like we just fell off the cliff after 95, and it was that was sort of really difficult to take from a playing point of view. But they were exciting times. I was only thinking about this the other day. We played Harndorf quite a lot through there, but the one club that gets forgotten about, or not forgotten about, and that is Bridgewater. They were amazing. Mid-90s, you did not want to go near Bridgewater. And they were an amazing side, hard to beat. Like 94, they were the red-hot favourites coming into finals. And, they were a very, very good side back in those days. And, it's sad to see what happened with them and the demise, but it's wonderful to see them back playing now. So it's great for their club.
It's good for them, they're back in the system.
Yeah, it was really good times. And because we were playing in grand finals and that, and me being 18, 19, the Courier Cup part, I remember playing in them and things like that. But it's actually something that the league should do a little bit more in promoting. I mean, it's been around for so long, and it's been a wonderful thing for the Hills Footy League. Amazing sponsors, and their commitment to the league, to this, to the Courier Cup. It's pretty cool. Like you'd love to see the honour roll of it for all the years.
It doesn't really get talked about.
No, it doesn't. And look, we as a football club right now, as we sit here in 2026, we're on a pathway and we're on a progress, and playing in this Courier Cup grand final is, I'm not trying to downplay, but it is a small step to where we want to go. And we want to be playing in these sort of things, both A grade and B grade. And it's about our club being involved in these top end of the ladder things. So this is a nice little step for us as we're going on that journey of where we want to end up. So
you want to touch back on that 94 era that you said, great players back in that day, like Hartman, Roger Wilson. Geez. Not Hartman, he was unbelievable fitness. He was just 30 odd 40 possessions every week, that guy. And Roger Wilson, you could keep him down for 3 quarters. And in the last quarter, he'll just come out and go berserk. The Vizza brothers, Darren Scott Vizza.
Well, I never played with Scott because Scott was there early 90s. So he was 92, 93. They lost the grand final in 92. 93 didn't make it. Scott went a bit AWOL. But they were there. Scott left in 94. But Darren, wow, what a player he was. Roger, it was funny with Rog because me and Rog had this connection piece that we both play half forward flank. And he'd always be, Colo, you take the best defender. And I'm like, mate, it would take 2 minutes from the workout. They're going to go to you. That was, we always have a laugh about that. And even today when I catch up with him and lucky enough to catch up with him but they were amazing players. But through that era, the one that unfortunately for what happens in football in 94, Mark Ampsberg, he was a superstar and he got injured early in the final series, did a hammy and trained grand final week, and Jim Lahu said, sorry. But Mark Ampsberg was an amazing player for Onkers for many, many years. And and Chris Gahardy, little fritter, rugged little tough rover through that period. And we had a bit of a balance there because we had good young, Jason Murray was he was a year older than me, but he'd played at Sturt and done some stuff. He was great. And obviously the late, great Scotty Harrington, we forever miss. Scooter was a great part of that era, and then Clark Skinner and Peter Hansen. And we had a really good younger a younger group coming through, and it was just sad that it sort of fell over. At the time when you're living in it, you don't realise the opportunity gone. But, you know, we should have been better in 95, 6, 7. You know, we had something there.
You could take what you knew today
100%.
and then go back.
100%.
Everyone would be an expert.
100%.
So,
yeah.
2023, decided to take on the president's role.
Oh, yes. Well, look, a bit like the my working life, I've gone into more of a management type positions, and you know, I spent a bit of time on the committee at Onkers for many years, and then I went to the HFL for a short amount of time. It's fair to say, sort of Onkers, Stewie Fush was the president at the time. Stewie's young lad Nick stopped playing, so Stewie, and then he unfortunately lost his wife. It was a very sad time for him, and it was really a case that he just couldn't do it anymore. And there wasn't too many around the club. You know, Andrew Adcock had a wonderful spell of doing it, but he didn't want to step back into it. And it was just opportunity, really, timing. And I said, look, I'm happy to come in and help, but I will need some good assistants and people around me due to my workload. And I was lucky enough that a good team of people come on board. And I think since 2023, we put a committee together at that first AGM. And to that day, we've got exactly the same committee members right now.
Pretty steady.
No one's left. Or we haven't had to make any change, which has been great, because it's been part of our sort of, you know, not success yet. We're not there, but
the
part
plan.
of just our strategy of strength in our community and what we're doing, and it's been good to have that. And everyone's got their own portfolios, and we work really hard. A lot of different things going on around the club, and to be honest, I can just sit and work in where I can and help people. And we've got a really hard-working junior committee. We have a separate junior committee, which Tom Lovell heads up as the president. They do a wonderful job in their space as well. So, some 2023, it's evolved on. We've taken on some big projects. We've done some really exciting things, and
probably leads me into my next question.
Yeah,
the club
sure.
rooms, so that's for people that don't know. Obviously, you're going to expand your club rooms out. So, where is that sitting at the moment? Obviously, there was a few politicians getting around early on. So.
Massive project, massive project. You know, our club rooms, so we own our land and we own our club rooms. We're one of a few football clubs that do that. It's not a council grant. So while that's a good thing for us, it also works against us when we're going for grants, because we're a private identity. However, you know, the club rooms were built by our volunteers back in the early 70s. Dave Paschke, Malcolm Stansbury, all those guys, bricks, and they just built it themselves. And
Neil Schiller,
you can imagine the building codes back in those days were nothing like they are now. So we're living in today's day where we've added big air conditioning systems and ceilings and different things to it. The place is just in need of. It needs to be knocked over, sadly. Our change rooms are completely non-compliant to today's regulations and requirements. And it's no one's fault in the time. It's just, you know, come to that stage. But we need to do the whole project and do it properly. So we've been... I've spoken about Andrew Adcock before. He's headed up a major committee for the major construction of this. Project 1 was our coaches box, which we ticked off last year, which was great. And then Project 2 was this major project. Now, obviously, every week that goes by, generally at the moment, is adding another 20 grand to it, or 200 grand. But like it's blown out quite large. We were hopeful through the election that we would have got support from both governments, which unfortunately we didn't get. But they are well aware of what we're trying to achieve, and they've given us confidence in the background to keep pursuing both state and federal money. Unfortunately, the council, while they've done some amazing things working with us, we've just done a deputation to them only a few weeks ago. Andrew Adcock done that, and we only just got advised in the last week that they're unfortunately in no position to give us any funding. Which sort of holds us back a little bit. It's just the funding part. We've had all the professional drawings done. We've done a lot of cost evaluation. We've done a lot of forecasting.
What's the cost?
Look, we started at about 2.2 million for this, but to be fair, we've pushed up now. We're talking nearly $3.5–4 million to do the whole project. It's and there's a lot of in kind in there, which we can get within the club. But when you're going for grants and doing things, obviously that doesn't come into too much fruition. But So yeah, it's a massive project. We want to get it done. And it's not for now. It's not for me. It's not for Addy. It's not for it's for the future. It's so about making sure.
No timeline on it. Then it's just
no, the timeline. You know, we'd love it to be 12 to 18 months. But look, we're going to be dependent on where that funding model comes from. So a lot of work to go in there. Some other clubs around the competition have done some great work in getting funding for different things, and we just got to keep working hard, and hopefully our turn will come.
Yep. No worries. Good project. Hopefully it goes well for you guys. So it should be good. Your time involved in the club. What's the best, most proudest moment up until now today?
For me personally, obviously I can't.
Obviously, there's a few.
Yeah, I can't go past. My playing in that premiership, 94. It was a long, long time ago. But you know, I lost my father in 94. I made the decision to leave Norwood, and with a view that I'd always go back. But then to go through and win an A-grade premiership, and that'll live with me forever, forever. And I know that some of these clubs in our competition have just done a wonderful job. You know, Harndorf of recent time, winning so many, and you know, just don't take them for granted. That's my thing. Is we've had some reunions for that from 94, and it's amazing. And I'm sure anyone that's played in one will resonate that, you know, you walk in the room with someone that you haven't seen for a few years, but they're your premiership teammate. They are family. They are family. And it's not just a handshake, it's a hug. And it just to have that connection with, you know, 20 other guys is, you know, plus coaches, plus, you know, guys that played in the twos and different things. It's just amazing. So I think that's probably a life tip for me. It's one of the greatest things. I've been lucky enough to coach one at Imperials, but, you know, at Onkers. I think the other thing at Onkers that I'm quite proud of as a footy club is the, many clubs do the same, but I just love the way we go about our culture with our junior stuff, and you know, we're consistently, I'll call it batting above our you know, our position on the ladder. We're consistently around the mark with our junior sides.
For the size of town you are, and then the way these guys go about it's credit.
And back in the day, you know, when I went to school, every kid that went to Oakbank played for Onkers. Now we go through our junior program right now. We got 2 kids in our junior play. That play for Onkers from the Oakbank school. It's so different, but yet we haven't wavered. You know, we have a few years where, you know, we struggled with an under-18s team or something like that. But overall, we've always got a team that's going quite well. You know, and I think, you know, last year we did an evaluation of all our junior teams, and I think we were like equal second on the list of junior teams in the football club, you know, with Mount Lofty, you know, and then you've got Blackwood obviously with theirs that play in both competitions. But you know, we do a great job. I'm proud of our club for that and the way we go about it. And it's, you know, like every club should be proud of their junior program. But I'm just very proud of the way
we talked to Jeff about this just today about obviously the association, just the juniors there. So I think that's a reflection. I said to him what the work that all the clubs do in their junior programs reflected in that association victory against Murraytown. So 20 goals, 10 goals victory. So as you touched on there, that's credit to all the clubs.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon our junior program is highly underrated. And the clubs do a wonderful job. You know, and we have a bit of an influx certainly through our junior program of kids that play amateur league in the town. So they'll go to college or go to school with one of our players, and they're like, oh, I can play Sunday for Unley Jets or whoever, but I can play Saturday for you guys. They come and play for us, or, you know, or Mount Barker or Harndorf or whatever, and they fall in love with it. And, you know, we've been lucky enough to have some players, you know, like Sam Green, who's in our A grade currently. Like, he did that. He was an Unley Jets kid who filled in for Onkers one week, fell in love with it. He's won a B&F, and he's absolutely flying in our A grade now. And, you know, we've got many of those through our whole football club, and especially in our junior ranks now that are from that because of the environment of the Hills Football League.
Mentioned before volunteers. I suppose your committees settle. What about in the other roles? You know, canning, stuff like that. It's obviously difficult. Trainers.
Mate, everyone knows, and you know as well, mate. But it's just so hard. Yeah, it is so hard. We're I'll say we're blessed, but we're also working our butt off with what we've got. Our volunteer base is a hard-working team, and there's just never enough people as such. And it's hard work, and we really do appreciate everything anyone does at any club for volunteer basis. But it's trying to get the confidence into the parents and all the people who
a bit reluctant
are reluctant, and a lot of rarely, and I'm sure there is an element of I don't want to do anything, but most of it is that they're uneducated and they're not sure. And you ask them to come in the barbecue shed or in the canteen. Oh, no, I don't do that. Well, no, all you have to do is put a pasty in a bag. Oh, do I? Okay, I'll do that.
Once they're shown they're comfortable.
Correct. So it's really, really hard, but we're working hard as a club on the way we engage our volunteers and what we can do and how we can bring them in. But it's not easy. And even, it's a bit of a society thing nowadays, but I remember back in the days when I used to play in the afternoon and I'd boundary umpire or you play in the morning, you play in the morning and you do the scoreboard or you run the boundary in the B grade. A guy'd walk over with a can of Coke and you thought it was Christmas.
Yeah, that's it.
These kids now, it's like, I'll do the boundary, but it's $50. It's like, really? So it's a different society we live in now, but
the A's and B's been up and down the last few years. What have been the biggest improvements and challenges you faced this year? Clunny's done a wonderful job. Obviously, coming with the
plan. We look, Stokesy, we're on a journey. When I first took over as president, the current coach was already on a destination, the path that he was going down, and we had a few things going on around the place. And I sort of got our footy ops group together, and we reset a little bit. We had a group meeting, and we needed to reset because, to put it in simple terms, the pathway we were on had too many potholes in it, and we were having some problems. And so, and this is where, as a footy club, I'm proud as well that we sat down as a footy ops group and we had some real honest discussion about where we're at, what we accept and what we want to be known as going forward. And, it was really a case of us changing angle and having confidence to stick together once we do that. So, we did that. We changed angle. And if you remember, the back 4 games of the year in 23, was it? 3. I coached the team to fill us, and we played man that day and didn't score. But I walked in the rooms that day and was so proud of the group. It's a funny thing, but it felt like this is the bottom. We've fallen down the hill. Right. Dust ourselves off. This is the start of where we go back. And I really felt that day, as much as it was a sad day for our club, because of obviously no one wants to be in that position. No. I certainly didn't want my coaching record to have that on it. But I was actually really proud of us as a club, because I think that day was the day that we were going down this road and we stopped and we turned. And we had 2 games to go for that year. And we set little internal goals about what we want to be seen at for the last 2 weeks of that year. What do we want our club to be known as for the last 2 games? And we played Mount Lofty and Harndorf. And we took Mount Lofty to the edge of the cliff, played an amazing game at Balhanna that day. And then we played Harndorf, who were clear on top. We had them last game of the year. And we just set out the goal to win contested footy. Don't look at the scoreboard. Let's get off the ground today and Harndorf go, gee, they were right, and they've changed their ways. And that day, I think it was with 6 minutes to go, we were 14 points in front. And to Harndorf's credit, they kicked 4 in the last 5 minutes and got over the line. But for us, it was like, hang on, we're on this pathway, and every player in our group stayed. Which was the key thing of why we bottomed out at the bottom of that hill, was that we had to do that to go, right, this is where we're at. Let's change the angle. And, in our plans as footy ops, we needed to get the right coach, and we needed a coach that was going to educate, was going to actually come on the journey, lead us on the journey that we wanted to go down. So I instantly was, obviously over that 4 weeks, was in touch with Adam Klein. Great respect from Adam, what he's done at our footy club as a player in the SANFL, his coaching. It was just wonderful to have someone within our community that had those amazing experiences. So, and the greatest thing was he went away and learnt some other stuff, and that's what he needed to do for his coaching as well. So it was great for him to go down and take over Peak Footy Club, which then became the Mallee Storm. And he did so much learning and got so much knowledge out of that. The timing was right. So we started building those blocks back then with Cluny coming in. And then our recruiting was recruiting for needs, and Cluny had a lot of contacts through his state country stuff and all that. But we had, through Cluny's Connect, we had people ringing us. Hey, I want to come and play with Cluny. And it's like, hang on, what's the needs? We've got 2 centre half forwards in our under 18s who are gun players and are going to be the future of us. Why do we want to? So we went, hang on, no, and we recruited for needs, and that wasn't to win in 25. And to be honest with you, 26 is great. It's on our journey, but this is a long-term plan for us. And even this year we did it again. We recruited for needs. Last year we were up and down. We did have a lot of injuries to me, which everyone gets. It's not an excuse, but we lacked experience and we lacked that knowledge in the tough times. So we needed experience. So we get a leader out of the Golden Grove A-grade footy club. We get a 2-time A-grade premiership coach from Barmera, Dane McGarry, who's a key defender at South Adelaide Football Club. We got some key people around our place that are actually got that leadership to help our younger group. And we've just recruited for needs, which has got us continuing down that path. We obviously get a bit lucky. You've got a couple of lads in the SNFL that go, we want to come home. We've got Brad and we've got Jasper Marr, which was amazing. So, we've got they're the little ticks that we take along the way that have probably projected us a little bit further forward than we expected on our journey at this stage. But it's exciting. We're nowhere near completed. We've got a long, long way to go. It's a good thing for the club because it's been a long time since we've done this. Many times and many clubs can get caught into just wanting it instantly. And you can just do it, which might give you an instant sugar hit, but it might also put you in bed quickly too. So we don't want to do that. This was about growth and this is about long-term sustainability. So we're on that journey.
Touched on it before, a bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. What's the one thing running a footy club that the supporters and parents don't probably see or realise?
I think the cost. I mean, our sponsors day every year and Life Members Day, I always do a PowerPoint presentation. I just give them a brief rundown of the runnings of the football club. And there's people in the room that come up and go, my business is half of that. And I run a 7-day-a-week business. People don't understand the infrastructure and the resource and the cost in the background that goes into football. And then I put
small business these days, isn't it?
Well, it's not even small. It's I put up there how many volunteers it takes to run our games every week. And when you put up a number of 112 volunteers across our football club, people are gobsmacked. It's just the enormity of what this is. Every club's got it the same. I'm not saying we're any different, but I think the people that aren't on committees or don't get engaged with what they probably have no real understanding or realisation of what that is. And then, and obviously costs, everything goes up, just little things like insurance. You've got to insure your club rooms. Well, guess what? Insurance is going up by thousands every year. Every year it's going up by thousands. So they're just little things that just add up and just, for us, I think it was like a $500,000 exercise last year.
I was going
to run our footy club.
Was it
That's the sort of money.
And you're just one club in the hills.
And
all the surrounding clubs
absolutely
as well. So there's
a lot of money.
A lot invested in it.
Yeah, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and thankfully we do have a salary cap from a playing perspective, which leaves us in that window from a on-field thing. But it's just everything else that goes around it, and it is challenging. It's challenging, and a lot of good people put a lot of good time in to make it work.
Just on that, so where do you see the Hills Football League in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, it's a challenging time for footy. It's a challenging time for sport, and it's it's interesting. I could probably spend a bit of time on this because there's many things that I feel we need to look at from a league point of view. And I must prefix saying, Trav at the HFL is doing a wonderful job. I think he's doing an excellent job as president and his team. There's certainly some elements of the game and our league and overall, look of football that needs to be carefully monitored and worked with. I think there needs to be more profile events like don't get me wrong, we love the 5 games on a day thing at the ground, and it's all good for clubland, but we've got to look outside of that. And I think,
do you think it's gone past that model now?
A little bit. I think we should,
because that was back in the 80s. That was format. Like, I do get it as yourself, but I think is it time to split? Not split, but you have your time slots for.
I think keeping that structure for an overarching thing is the way to go. However, we should be able to, and we should have flexibility. I'd like to see, certainly first 4 weeks of the year, back couple of weeks of the year, we should have showcase days. So on a Sunday, we should go to the Summit, round 2, and 4 under 18 games should be on. Playing one after the other. Like, play all the under 18 kids on a day. There's no Sturt, no Nord, no Westies, no. So the SNFL guys can all come up, have a look at our league. We can do promotion around that. You can do marketing of it, and do all the under 18 games on one day. Next week we do all the under 16s, all the 14s, and just showcase our development of our competition, development of players. There needs to be greater engagement. This one's a big one for me because I really fear for what happens with the SNFL systems now. We're sending kids to SNFL system as a 13-year-old to start SNFL training in September of this year. Will be another group of 13-year-olds who then don't play basketball, don't play cricket. All of a sudden they disconnect from their footy mates at their club because they've got this other, not by a heap, but by a little bit, but it starts. And then it starts. And then we play them, and then they go into the 16s program, which means they can only train down there. And by the time a kid can be 15 or 16, he can be completely disconnected from his home club. And then all of a sudden you've got that factor of at 16, 17, sorry mate, you're not going to make it. But I don't really know much of those guys back home anymore,
and they just stop playing.
And we just got this. I just feel there's a massive gap there that we are dealing with that needs to be carefully managed. And now I'm coaching the 16s at Onkers. Actually, quite ironically, I can see a bit of it. And we've got lads playing down there, which is great. And the Mount Barkers and Hardorfs and Mount Lofties and all that, we've all got them down there. But it's the ones that aren't playing that they're being told, have to train every night, which is fine, and do all that, but then they come back to you and they're unsure where they're at, and then you've got the old fair play rule. Sorry, mate, you can't play midfield today because you're too good. We're 10 goals up, so we're going to move you. It's like it's just the mismanagement of kids through that age group is a real thing, and I think from a Hills Football League, we could do more in the way of doing promotional days and showcasing these guys.
Well, that's a fantastic idea. Utilising the Summit in that area for junior.
Well, I think the country div could be involved too. Like you could do 4 under 18 games for the Div 1s and then 2 night games if you like, or put 2 in the middle. And all of a sudden you've got all these clubs. You could set it up on the oval. You can do any form of promotion. The SNFL clubs get involved in it. There's a whole heap of things I reckon around.
Because you're not going to lose your Saturday format, because if you take the under 18 slot out or 16s, you're still going to fill it with under 12s game, under 10s or under 8s or something, get an opportunity to be involved with the club.
And we, just as a club point of view, Anzac Day this year being a Saturday, we changed things around and played our 16s and 18s after the A grade. Geez, it was a success. Oh, it was amazing. The place was packed, and we got some A grade players that were new to our club and different things, but their mum and dad come and watch and all that, and they're like, oh, we watch the kids play, and it just gives it a different feel. And I think while the format, let's keep it structured, but we should have flexibility to do things.
You touched on player payments. Obviously, there's been an article in the SNFL we talked about with Jeff today about being lowly paid, and obviously their players want to get paid more. Do you see that being filtered down into community level? I know there's a salary cap there at the moment, but
look, it's
how do you see the player payment side?
Sad. It's look, we don't delve into it too much because we obviously, unfortunately for us, we've lost players this year because of purely and simply, as they've called it, more money and all money that were local kids for us. It's look, every club's trying to have their space, I suppose, and every club's trying to do their thing. And I'm not going to comment on any other club because every club does what they think's best. But from our point of view, certainly you do get challenged, and you've just got to stay strong to your standards, your expectations, and the culture that you've got, that these players will accept not taking the big offer to stay with us because of the path they were on. Yeah. But some of the numbers that get thrown, it's scary. It's just not right. And I'm not going to tell clubs to change the way they do it, because clubs do what clubs do. But it is. I relate the salary cap to a couple of local communities, like the Lobethal and Woodside Police Station. They look great in the city, but there's no one there. Like it's the toothless tiger, and the salary cap. Like, it's this big thing that the SNFL banging the drums, but there's no music coming out.
No.
Like, there's nothing. Just, there's nearly an element of just forget it.
Yeah.
Go with the point system, which you can manage. Double down on that.
I suppose the point system is the way it can help control the player input, I suppose. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
Like, the player payments, I think it's...
Yeah.
Is the bit not out of control, but hard to... Hard to control.
It is hard to control, and it is out of control. Yeah. So I fear for some clubs and what they're having to do to try and keep players, and it's a challenging thing.
So I guess my next question then.
But I ain't going to fix it. I don't know what does.
I don't have an answer for you as well. Yeah. But if you're saying you're turning over $500,000 a year as a club, your player payments in that as well.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, no, that's right.
That's huge amount.
Yeah, what is it now? It's 3,450 a Saturday you can spend, and maximum of $650 a player. Like, 20 odd games. It's hopefully 20 odd games if you play finals. Yes. But it soon adds up, and some of the $650. Some of the players that are getting offered, a lot more than that.
Yes, that's it. So this is my next question. So it seems to be clubs are measured on premierships, or should it be? You've probably touched on it today, to be able to create a sustainable community club.
Yeah. You look again.
You look in, read the papers, probably watch this show. You get judged on your win-loss.
Yep.
You don't get judged on how well you're doing overall as a community in the club.
Yep. And the thing for us is who's judging us.
Yes.
Who judges us? Because one thing that's happened actually this year, going back to the HFL, the presidents of all the clubs, we've met a few times. It's been a great initiative, and full kudos to Vincey from Adelaide. He contacted me about it, and we just went to the Balhana pub one night, all the presidents, had a few beers and had a chat. Yeah. And we wanted to help the HFL with everything that was going on, and we've met with the HFL, and it's been really, really good. So, but it was great talking to the other presidents, and a couple of them, and I won't name them, but really spoke about, the first thing you say is, your A's went well on the weekend. And, one of them's comment about was, well, that's only one of our teams.
Yeah.
And it's like
5 others that play.
It's like, what, as president, that's such a true statement. Like, don't get me wrong, it's all well and good. And we obviously would love to have A-grade success, and we want to work towards getting that. But what's just important for me as president and our committee is that we have a junior program that is engaging, that is inclusive to all levels, that has great coaching, has good feedback, great support network. That is just as important for us. And to open the doors at the club on a Saturday night and do 140 meals, we're averaging over 120 odd meals on a Saturday night, at the moment. That's success in the community front as well. So, the person that reads the paper and goes, Onkers are going, well, that's fine, but that's only one part of what the club is actually about. So, and the thing is, at our club, we're going through a big program at the moment, and most clubs are doing something in this space around, things like mental health for your community, and how sport and all of that can work. That's all part of it as well. We've got a larger role to play than just a W and an L on a Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. You're coaching a junior side, 16?
Yes.
Yeah. How's that going?
Wound the clock back, mate. So my lad has come through the junior program, and I coached him. I think my last year with him was under 11s, and I've had a few years off, and a few dads have had a go here and there, which they've done a great job. And start of this year, I changed jobs, and my weekends freed up, and I was like, and then all the dads were like, "We're not doing it. We've had it," and I was like, "Oh, I could probably do it." So I reached out to Blake Tanner, one of our A-grade players. I said, "Mate, I'll do it if you can help me." Yes. And he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm keen to." Yeah. So we took it on. I thought, well, I'll get to coach Tate again and I'll do this. And then round one, he's done his knee and he's out for the year. And here I am, got caught carrying the whiteboard. So, but no, back doing it. I love it. It's great. It takes the great thing about coaching juniors, Stokesy, is all of the other bullshit goes away. I don't have to worry about who's getting paid what.
They just come out and do their thing.
Guy wants to recruit this guy and all that. I don't have to worry about any of that. It's kids coming along. You want to put a smile on your face. You want them to have fun. The main thing for me is I want them to love the game. Yes, our club is part of that, but I want them to love the game of footy and what it brings. So we really work hard on trying to develop that, and I've enjoyed doing that. So it's been good.
No, that's it. I've looked at your website there this week, and I reckon it's elite.
The footy club one, yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Do clubs need to involve in this space, the social media side? Obviously games are getting live streamed. Call it Wild do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Do you see yes, becoming a bigger space?
Yes and no, mate. And again, let's revert back to the comment we just made before about volunteers. It's so, we're very blessed at the moment. We've got a great team that look after the website. Social media stuff, we couldn't find anyone to look after it. And we've ended up finding someone off our junior committee. Jono Heading's done a great job of managing that. But then, so her son plays at Sturt. So, and then her other son is in the under 14s, although he's out for a year with his knee as well. But she's also on the junior committee. So she's in the, she also works in the canteen. So she's doing all this work, and then she does social media, and then we'll get a parent complain because their team didn't get a mention or things like that. And it's like, it's so hard. So unless you've got those passionate volunteers that are happy to work in that space, it's damn tough. It is tough. And we try our best. We're not perfect. And, but we do try our best to try and get as much information out there.
Definitely that website, that was awesome.
And trying to talk to people nowadays, mate. It's like back in the day when it was easy. You just send them a letter. You got it in the post and away you go. But now you send letters, they don't get them. You send them an email, they don't read them. You put on social media, they don't watch it. You've got all these avenues of communication. To try and pick what's the correct one. It's a
too many choices.
It is.
Too many choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
Touched on the club rooms. Obviously, that's part of your, what you want to do. If I gave you a blank check, what's the one thing you can improve besides the club rooms?
Besides the club rooms?
Yeah. Obviously, that's a long-term goal, or not too long. But, but if it was there, what else would you need to do at Onkers besides that? Yeah,
for our football club and our community, it would be all facilities. We obviously have spoken about our club rooms, our canteen facility, barbecue shed, which has now been up for some nearly 10 years. Our light system needs to be improved again. We've just done our coaches' boxes. Our oval is managed by the Johnson's Memorial Park Committee. Being able to help them continue to improve our oval would be a key thing. There's been a lot of...
Are you guys at a point where you nearly need two ovals?
Yeah. That would be that. To be honest with you, that would be a thing that we would look at. We have there is land out the back of our football club that we've inquired about. We'd love to be in a space to be able to do something there. However, it's just not feasible for us at the moment. Many years ago, we used Woodside all the time, but that's sort of not an option for us now for games. Soccer takes that over. And we still use it Wednesday nights for modified training, but that's really it. But another oval and our facilities would be our major priority.
Get into some fun questions, I suppose. So,
yes.
Best Bulldog you've seen?
Best player
at Onkers you've seen?
Best player I played with, Roger Wilson. Best player I coached, Shannon Goldsmith.
No dramas. Your best Onkers coach, probably Lyle Skinner.
Yeah, I think if I went over my whole journey, Lyle Skinner had some good ones. Steve Jeffries, my 1 year of under-17s was great.
Yep.
Jim LaHoo, obviously premiership coach, he'll always be up there. Although he did drop me one day and we did have a falling out, but that's okay.
Most underrated volunteer at your club, I suppose that's another one.
Ooh.
It's a bit hard to say because we have so many.
We do have a lot, and just general committee members that do 3, 4, 5 different roles.
Yep.
We've got many there that I wouldn't like to single one of them out. They do an amazing job.
Yep. What's the biggest footy name or character that's walked through Honkers social club rooms or played for us? Played for you.
Gee,
yeah.
Good question. Look, we've had some characters along the way. Mark Ampsberg probably being one of them. Back in the day, he was a beauty. And every era's probably got one through time. There's a couple there. Tolkien, yeah, he was a different cat for the time that he was there. Yeah. And right through to today's group, like Joe Skinner's a different cat. He's playing for us at the moment. He's a ripper. He's funny, but they've all got their quirks and their there's some rippers there. But it's a good question actually. We've every club has a lot of different personalities and different things and funny things that go on.
Yep. Biggest pest around the club
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Skinner. By a mile. Yeah. Even our assistant coaches, it's funny. They've always got a skin story about what Joe's doing, and he's a ripping bloke, but gee, he's annoying to everyone and does the practical jokes and all that in the background.
Young player to look out for who's up and coming.
Yeah, so we're blessed a bit at the moment. We've got some rippers already in our A grade. Sam Green, who I mentioned before, James Dutton. He's a super player, young lad who came to the club last year. As an 18-year-old, he's all class and quality. We've got a couple of young lads that have just around the mark played a couple of A grade games early. Alex Varley and Tyson Eden, a couple of big centre forward type players, both first year out of sort of 18s mark. Yep. And they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Tyson's unfortunately injured at the moment. He's very big into his cricket, so he didn't do much pre-season, but then he played the first few games in the Bs and just started to hit his straps, ready for selection, and then done his ankle, so he's out for a month. Alex played the first few games in the A grade, and then Jake Adcock come in for an injury. Jake's taken his spot a little bit, but Alex has been in the twos. Very good players. They're young, they're raw. But got a lot of ability. So we've got a couple of lads in our 18s that are going to make it too. Yeah. So, I actually really enjoy that part of football clubs and looking at those young ones that come through. So
just touched on Jake Adcock there.
Yeah.
It's good to see him back.
Amazing. Yeah. Like you could write him off last year.
Yeah.
We, as a club, I don't get involved in it, but he played the last few games of the B grade, won the B grade goal kicking. And it was like, well, that's probably him. He's probably done. And to his credit, in the off-season, he said to Clunny, he said, I'm not finished. And Jake done a power of work. Yeah. Power of work. He was running kilometres and got his body right.
Yeah.
So much so, he even started the year, Clunny, to his words, said, in the twos, and we're going to play these other guys. And then, we had, when we played Mount Barker, Jonesy, our ruckman, couldn't play. So Jake come in and Alex Varley went into the ruck for that day. Jake kicked 6. And then he's gone basically 6-5-5, on a couple last week, playing really good footy. So full kudos to him because, he relinquished the captaincy and just focused on getting himself right. And he's getting the reward. So great to see.
One sentence I need from you. What does it mean to be at Onka Valley?
What does it mean to be at Onka Valley?
Mean to you? There's probably more than one sentence, but
I'll try and bring it to. I'm just privileged to be president of our region's football club, our communities club. Overarching. Yep. I'm very proud of our club, very proud of our people, and to be president of it, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, no worries. Farmer wants a wife.
Oh, here we go.
Obviously, the footy club's getting a bit of an exposure there. How's that been going? I know it's just aired on TV recently. I suppose you can't say too much, I suppose. So due to the show. So, but how's the initial
Look, it's been great. It's been funny. I remember this time last year on Thursday nights after training, Zach got up and goes, "Boys, I've got something to tell you." And he goes, "This is just a piss take, but I've put in for this and I've been accepted in the first round." And we all laughed and thought, "That's it, whatever." And then we got updates from him every week, and I was like, "Boys, you're not going to believe it. I'm down to the last 30. Then, boys, you're not going to believe it. I'm flying to Sydney next week." And then he's like, "I'm in the last 6." And then all of a sudden, bang, you're on. He goes, and then he come on one night, and actually, funny story. He come to the club one night after training, and he said, "Guys," he goes, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "I've been leading you along the whole time. I didn't even go for it." He goes, "It's been all a joke. I'm sorry I've done this to you." And then he stopped, and he looked up, and he goes, "I'm in the show." So I went from one extreme to the other, and we just like, I couldn't believe it. So, but look, it's been good good luck to Zach. That's what he wanted to do. I suppose there's another element to it as well, which we're very mindful of at the moment, is just wrapping our arms around Zach, and the profile that comes with what he's done is. And, if he was sitting here, he'd say the same. It's been quite daunting. So he's...
Just watching a little bit of the show.
Yeah. I mean, there's many great positive elements for him.
Yeah.
And I won't go into what things, but certainly it's just the world that we live in today of putting your head on TV and putting your name to your head and different things that sort of pressures come onto him a little bit. But hey, look, the greatest thing is, if you're going to pick anyone in our footy club that would have done this, he's the one. He's a ripping guy. He's so genuine. He never puts a foot out of line. I think he'd be one of the most highly respected players in the competition. He's just a beauty. So that's the great thing for it all.
Your other passion besides footy's been motor racing.
Yes.
And you're involved with your work.
Yeah.
Your brother was involved with Speedway.
Yes.
Trent.
Yep.
Mark Harrington, a good mate of yours.
Yep.
Beachy.
Yep.
Mark
Simons.
Mark Simons. Yeah.
Yep.
So you tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So I've been around motorsport all my life since I was a kid and loved it. My dad took me to Bathurst when I was 10.
Yep. And you go
my
for
first
the
year.
Yeah.
I've been going I've missed a couple of years here and there, but I think it's 32 years I've been going to Bathurst now. Love it. So, and take mates and we have a great time. But yeah, I've been lucky enough, and this is going back with my coaching thing. I wanted to get into more, I was driving milk trucks when I was coaching at North Adelaide, and it was like, what am I doing? Where am I going? So I changed direction and got a job in motorsport, and from there I've not looked back in a sense. So I've worked in sport ever since that time. I've worked at Speedway for 10 years. I worked in horse racing for 10 years. Now I'm back in motorsport, working with the Adelaide or the South Australian Motorsport Board. Yep. So we look after the Adelaide Supercars event and MotoGP now. Yep. So it's quite exciting. It's it's good. I love it. I love motorsport and everything it brings. So
the MotoGP.
Yeah.
That's a question from Pistols.
Good on you, Pistols. Yeah.
How's that going? Obviously, it's been the trees. You hear. Apparently the cost of it's supposed to upgrade to like 100 million. I saw an article there that was, I don't know, but it's been denied that it's going to cost that much. But how's it all tracking? Will it be on target? It's
27.
27.
Yeah.
So,
Look,
next year.
Just a brief rundown on it. Don't believe it. Don't believe everything you read. That's probably the key thing. I mean, I'm working in the four walls of the place at the moment. There's a lot of things being thrown out and around that are just false. We still haven't got the final design for the track yet. Our team is still working really, really hard on that. There's still a lot of things to go through when it comes down to costings and that. Well, we can't do the costings yet because we haven't got the track finished. So all of that stuff is just speculation at the moment. We're working so closely with FIM, the overarching body, and MotoGP Group on all this stuff. Like our team are doing nightly meetings with them guys. They're flying out to Australia, meeting with us. Everything's going so well behind the scenes. The ensuing weeks and months are going to be where we start giving information out and seeking consultation with local residents and different things, which is all part of what we have to do. But there will be a lot more facts around the event for them to look at rather than what's happened. The timing of the golf course just didn't help us. Didn't help us. And that was run by a completely different department and they did it their way, but we're already down the path of doing it the way we wanted to do, which was a lot more consultation and different things that we were doing. So the highlight that brought to some of these subject matters didn't just caused a bit of unrest for us. But
Yep.
look, it's going to be great.
Yeah,
I mean, come next November, you know, we're going to be talking tens of hundreds of thousands of international visitors. You know, $1 billion into our economy in South Australia. You won't get a seat at a coffee shop in the state for that month. It's going to be amazing. So, all the positive things are all there, simmering away. We've just got to do the work at the top end, which is what we're doing now.
No worries. All right, it comes to the end. Mate,
beautiful.
Thanks for your time, mate. And good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of the year. And sounds like Onkers are on the right track, got a plan in place, and hopefully you get to that goal.
Yep, absolutely, mate. We're on the pathway. Thanks for coming in and doing the hard-hitting questions. Pistols wasn't up to it, so
no, he wasn't.
You're a good man for doing that.
No worries. All right, well, that's the end of the show. So we'll catch you next time in a couple of weeks. Thank you.